Welcome back to Decoded. We are doing Decoded live from one once again. We are well and truly live, and we are most definitely at one here. I am Eliza, your community manager for North America. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Logan. I'm a developer advocate here at OutSystems, and we are joined by a very special guest, Vivek.
Thanks so much, Logan. I'm Vivek Mano. I work in product management here at OutSystems, focusing on our AI products.
Amazing. So we have Vivek on today to chat all about the exciting things announced during the keynote. But before we get to that, I would love you to all jump in the chat and tell us where you're tuning in from. I want to hear time zones. I want to hear cities. I want to hear countries, whatever you want to share with us. I'm pretty sure we don't have anyone from the time zone that both Vivek and Logan flew in from, which is the west coast of the U.S. because it's 4 a.m. there.
Jet lag is real, guys.
Let us know if we're wrong there.
And of course, as you can tell, we are broadcasting from the expo hall floor within our OutSystems community village. You can see everyone milling about behind us. It's a party back here. It's absolutely crazy.
So now here's what to know. We're streaming for 4 hours a day, both today and tomorrow. There will be some short video breaks because I'm very concerned I will trip over one of these chairs when I'm getting up and down as we're switching hosts and guests, and it's getting a little chaotic every 15 minutes. But again, those are 3 minutes or less, so stick with us. We will have some opportunities to win exclusive prize packs for those of you at home. We're doing some trivia sessions hosted by my friend Logan here. And we also have some really exciting guests. Now, if you're interested in those prize packs, here is when to tune in. I've done the time math for you. So this should be accurate unless we get way off schedule, which we won't. There's going to be 5 questions today, all about AI. So feel free to bring up Wikipedia artificial intelligence to prep yourself. All participants have a chance to win. There is a leaderboard if you want to see who's doing the best. But if you give us your email address, there's going to be a random drawing. So definitely join us then.
Be sure to compete for bragging rights, too.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, these are the timings for our guests from the OutSystems leadership team over the next 2 days. Some notable mentions, of course, Woodson Martin, OutSystems' new CEO, Andy Pemberton, our CRO, and Luis Blando, our CPTO, talking about all things OutSystems. You don't want to miss their chats.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here are all our guests. We've got MVPs, we've got speakers, we've got product team members, and just like last year, I can hear the session announcements right into my eardrums here, despite being in this very fancy studio. So sorry if I just suddenly have a blank look on my face and I don't know what to do. It's probably because our event manager, João, is telling everyone to hurry up and get back to the sessions. Now,
of course, let's go ahead. Let's pivot back to our guest here. Vivek is here to fill us in on all of the main stage, keynote, everything. We would love to hear what the vibe is like in there, what was going on during the keynote. We've been locked in here for the last 24 hours in our own little cube. So why don't you give us some details of what happened during the keynote?
Yeah, the vibe was amazing in there. And I think the key takeaway from everybody in the audience is the story of we. So our CEO opened up talking about the amazing contributions OutSystems has been making in the community. We started with Teach for Portugal. We had a fantastic partner with Volantic help us build an application to make sure that no child goes underserved on their educational needs, regardless of their parents' outstanding bank accounts. And so we built an application to speed that up and get education out there. We shifted to some of the latest improvements we have on not just our agentic capabilities, but also our AI-driven app development capabilities. We had fantastic customer demos, and through it all, we told a story through the lens of our customers. It was just amazing. The energy was fantastic. We had the crowd chanting together. OutSystems does the work. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing. So I just want to say on the chat, thank you all for telling us where you're tuning in from. We do have someone from NYC and Michigan, so they're up pretty early. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Those of you in India, thank you for staying up late with us. We're excited to have you here. All right, back to that keynote. What was our most exciting announcement, would you say?
Yeah, I think what got the crowd really excited is the fact that we started talking about the unification of our platforms. And we mentioned that every customer in the audience who has an O11 account, as of today, can go to their customer portal, click on a button, and activate their ODC tenant included in their contract. That means shared entitlements, shared AOs, everything that they can get, everything that they saw, they now have access to.
That's incredible. That's something we've all been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, so that button was mentioned in an early draft of the keynote, and when I was drafting some of these questions based on what was basically an Excel spreadsheet, it just said unified button, which was very exciting for me because I had no idea what was going on. But speaking of unification, we have a short video they played in the keynote. Our video team slaved over it for days and days. So just stick with us as we watch a video that's about 1 minute and 37 seconds long.
This is where your past will meet your future. You're in your familiar OutSystems lifetime environment, managing your O11 apps like you always did. But what if you could do more? What if you could tap into a powerful new agentic platform? Welcome to the future of AI development. A unified experience that will bring OutSystems 11 and OutSystems Developer Cloud together into a single powerful agentic platform. All your apps, every user, every insight, all together and in one place. This platform won't just be unified, it will be intelligent. Powered by AI agents, OutSystems won't just show problems. It will explain their root cause and provide proactive, actionable guidance. It'll feel like having a team of expert agents embedded in your workflow, 24/7, anticipating your needs and accelerating every step of your work. These agents will quietly work alongside you, offering suggestions exactly when you need them. And with a single click, they'll trigger the deployment. Smooth, effortless, and precise. And once your app reaches production, the agents won't stop. They'll keep monitoring, continuously surfacing insights to ensure your apps stay fast, secure, and resilient. This will be the unified AI platform, bringing together everything you've built and the agentic future you'll create.
So thank you for checking in and watching that video. So there's something else that was announced, correct?
Right after that, the crowd erupted when we talked about the fact that O11 ODC can be shared. But what we really were excited to share and the audience responded to is the fact that we now have an ODC Personal Edition, an ODC PE that anybody can sign up for and get started with today. So regardless of where you're at, you have a friend, a colleague, or just somebody who wants to tinker on the weekend, you can start with ODC.
So anyone can go and download it and be a part of OutSystems.
Go do it right now. Yeah, try it out.
Yes, that's awesome. So we also had an announcement about Agent Workbench, right? Can you briefly tell us about it?
Yeah, definitely. So we've been excited. We first launched agentic capabilities in the platform 18 months ago. And so we were testing the waters with our Forge component, AI Agent Builder, got fantastic reception, and decided to make agentic AI a first-class citizen in the platform. And so I think of it as bringing LangChain to low-code. And it's great because you get all the flexibility of double-clicking on an agent. If you've ever played with an agent builder before on other tools like N8N or others, it's kind of a black box on where you can connect. Now you can dive as deep as you want to into the code, set up your grounding data, select your model, choose your system prompt, and build any kind of logic you want to. And it was well received. We told this story through a number of customers as well. Yeah. It was exciting.
Well, actually, speaking of customers and people who are using this, can you maybe give us a customer demo about their experience?
Yeah, one of the ones we were super excited about is a Dutch travel company called Travel Essence. And they are kind of like the Rolex of travel advisors in this area, and they specialize in large group bespoke vacations to Australia, New Zealand, the US, Canada, many locations around the world.
Yeah.
And we focus on New Zealand because what they do is that they do an intake to say, how many people do you have? Do you like hiking? Do you like glamping? Do you want van travel? What is it you want to do?
Yeah.
And then they build that entire trip for you. And that's a high touch, high output type of a vacation.
It sounds like a complicated workflow.
It's so much work. They usually spend about 2 hours per human just to do the first round of bookings.
Wow. That's a lot of time and energy and money.
With Agent Workbench, they got it down to 2 minutes
per trip.
That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Wow. Well, Workbench is not our only AI platform tool. Can you talk a little bit about AI app dev?
Yeah, so we had a lot of fantastic improvements coming to Mentor onto the platform. Mentor went GA in January of this year, and since then we've had thousands of Mentor applications generated. We also got a lot of great feedback from the community and the MVPs, and they told us they're really looking for a more of a vibe coding conversational experience. They want to see Mentor in Studio in our IDE, kind of pair program along with them, and they want to see better UI diversity. And we've delivered on all three of those things, and we'll be rolling that out over the coming 6 months.
Would you be able to maybe tell us about some of like the mentor apps that you've seen and some like maybe customer stories around that?
Yeah, definitely. I think some of the most common use cases will be things like an employee portal, an onboarding flow, an expense management system, a loan origination system, and like order management. Those are the top use cases we're seeing with Mentor.
Gotcha. Now, of course, this wouldn't be an OutSystems keynote without a peek into the product roadmap. Can you share anything our developers at home can look forward to?
Yeah, I think the story where it's all coming together is for Mentor to generate agents. So right now, Mentor is known for kickstarting applications where we're not just getting your data entities, your user roles and permissions, your screens together, your workflows. Now we're going to extend that to actually building agents that can be integrated into your applications. Wow. And for me, that brings the story full circle, because if I'm building with N8N, I've got to add a UI layer, I've got to figure out my database, I've got to figure out my orchestration, observability, monitoring. All that is now under one location inside the OutSystems platform.
Yeah, I feel like the point of AI is to make our work easier, not harder. It seems like the industry's been doing it the hard way, and we're trying to make it easier.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's incredible.
Okay, so a little peek behind the curtain in two ways. First, we are streaming both on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So if I reference something in the chat and you're saying, what chat? It might be on the other platform. So right now I do have a message from, I'm going to take a stab at your name, Yori, who is asking if he can join the conference tomorrow. I'm pretty sure there was a chat on WhatsApp this morning about when we're going to take the registration button away. I think it's still there all the way through today. So find one OutSystems 2025 registration website. You'll see it to register there real quick. If you have a customer team you're in touch with, feel free to also reach out to them, make them help you. I'm a big fan of making the customer team help on things. The other peek behind the curtain here is our keynote had a long process to be built, and Vivek was one of the major players in building it. Can you talk to us about how that worked?
Yeah, this year's keynote was very different from previous year's keynotes that we've had at One. And our focus was around we. It's the idea that all of us are in this together. The OutSystems community is what makes OutSystems so great. And so we told all of our releases through the lens of a customer, through a partner, through a developer, through an MVP. And our focus was on the wins that they've had and what they've been able to accomplish with OutSystems and the platform.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of wins, let's maybe cycle back a little bit to Workbench. I want to hear some of the wins with Workbench. Are there any cool customer stories you can share around Workbench?
Yeah, one interesting use case that we had was with Axos Bank. And what they did was they actually generated their own agent to modernize some of their applications. So they had old apps living in PeopleSoft, COBOL, maybe AS400 systems that were just becoming too brittle. And to be honest with you, the folks who knew the stuff behind the code base and had the documentation or didn't have the documentation, it was all up in their heads, they're gone, right? They're no longer with the company. And so they needed to bring it to a modern cloud-native platform like ODC. So they built their own agents to bring that stuff over, and then they used Mentor to generate the applications. Extremely cool use case.
That's incredible. So that means basically companies that have to do migrations, it's a huge time saver, right? It's no longer trying to go through and like take apart each piece of an application. You can literally do it using AI Workbench to make that happen.
Axos motivated us to say that's an amazing feature, and we pulled it into the Mentor roadmap actually. So looking into H1 of next year, you can expect to see where you attach a document or an image. Now you can attach a Git repo, an SVN, or an ADO from Azure, whatever it might be, to scan your source code base, build a blueprint off of that, and build an application on ODC.
That's incredible.
So sick. I do have a question from the chat here that's not just about registration, though I appreciated your question, Yuri. We have a question from Jared asking, so O11 will have AI features now?
In a sense, yes. The most common use case we're seeing are folks like Travel Essence. They have an O11 application. They've had it for years, and they want to add agentic capabilities to it. So what they've done is they've built what you can almost think of like as a headless agent in ODC, and that headless agent is being pulled back into the O11 app, so they add agentic capabilities to O11 applications.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, I think we're out of time. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us, Vivek.
Thanks for
Up
having
next, Eliza's going to be interviewing Abeer, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's go ahead and watch a video from OutSystems.
Here's one of my favorite things about Mentor. Mentor's out. It offers shiny new AI for you and me to play with. But sometimes I need to go beyond Mentor. One thing I love about Mentor is that it allows me to interact with ODC Studio in a back and forth fashion. Don't get me wrong, I love Mentor. I love the speed it brings to development, and I love the fabulous AI suggestions it gives me all the time. I can go from zero to a working application in just a couple of minutes. But sometimes I need to go deeper, geek out and go low level. I may need to write some advanced SQL for my backend or some JavaScript for my front end. And when that happens, ODC Studio has my back. I open the application in ODC Studio, do all the low-level work, and publish my app without fear of losing any of Mentor's capabilities. Once I'm finished, I can just open the application back in Mentor and continue to use all its amazing AI capabilities. I get all the advantages of this tool, and I can make big changes to my app in just a couple of clicks. Stay tuned for more of my favorite features about Mentor.
Welcome back. Up next, I'm joined by Abeer. Abeer, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, in fact. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you. Well, my name is Abeer, and I'm an OutSystem MVP, and I work as an OutSystem developer with Nationale Nederlanden.
Amazing, amazing. What has your journey been like as an OutSystems developer?
Okay. Okay. I think it's been interesting as a nutshell. It's been really interesting, and I think I started also since 2018, which is 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been 7 years with OutSystems so far, and it's been an interesting journey. I mean, it opened doors, took me to places, like literally and metaphorically as well. So it's been really nice journey.
Amazing, amazing. We will talk about that physical places journey in just a second. But I just want to ask, what's your favorite aspect about working with the OutSystems platform?
I love how fast we actually do things from idea to a real thing. So it's I think our generation also love to do things faster now.
Absolutely.
Because we sometimes we tend to get bored easily, or things now are really fast forward, and we really want to be in that. We want to know what's next. We want to do whatever next. Like, we want to learn more, do more, finish what we are doing, do the next step. So I really love the fact that you can just turn any idea to something in very short time.
Amazing. So we do have a lot of MVPs joining us today, if only because it's convenient. Right outside this window is our community village and the MVP lounge. You won't be able to see it on camera. I'm so sorry. But there's a big sign that says MVP lounge over there. They're all congregating there. I bet they have cool snacks and drinks that no one else gets.
Yes. And we are in Lisbon, so there's a lot of pastel de nata.
There is a lot of MVPs in Lisbon. If there's any MVPs joining in the chat, please say hello. Abeer, you're a very active member of this program. What was the process like to join as an MVP?
I don't think it was kind of a process.
Yeah.
Because for me, it felt like I was doing things naturally and then just joining a program or being part of a program. It was like an outcome for what's happening. But I think the MVP was a little bit of recognition for what people do for the community, and I think it's really amazing just keep pushing people to do more for the community. And for me, the MVP program was also allowing me to keep doing that, to explore more in some way, wider idea and wider vision, so I can actually give more to the community in that matter.
Amazing.
So yeah, it felt like I'm joining more than a process set out that you have steps to take in order to do it. It was just naturally blending in. So
amazing. So MVPs do a ton. There's a very active Slack with sort of off-cycle product feedback. There's the forum. Most of our moderators are MVPs, and of course, answering questions on the forum. We also have ADP list mentoring. If anyone needs an OutSystems mentor, go to ADP list. We've got an amazing OutSystems mentoring program. And there's formal product feedback channels as well, just for the MVPs. The list goes on. What's your favorite aspect? You don't have to pick one of those. You can say something else.
Well, I have to choose few. I cannot really choose the most one, but one of the things that I love is being part of giving feedback about the platform. Because we are the developers who need it. Like, not we as only the MVPs, but I mean the developers who use it. It's really important to listen to the feedback, and I think it's really, really important that OutSystems gives us the opportunity to try it and to give feedback about what we really think about the platform. So we keep enhancing the platform that we use, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Because it's what you use, and you give you feedback. You help into shaping it in what you actually need in your daily work. And of course, mentorship. I mean, anything that's related to the community takes a special place in my heart. It goes without saying. Because I don't know, but for me, it's mostly the community. The community is one of the strongest things for OutSystems, right? Or I see it this way. So it's the forum, the mentorship programs, all of that. It really helps supporting each other, and I think that the community is like really, really a strong part and a strong aspect for the OutSystem platform. And we are the people are actually what making it as it is. So yeah, anything that goes back to the community things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
OutSystems has gotten direct feedback from major customers saying that our forum and the MVPs answering questions is one of the major reasons they stick with our platform. So it's huge.
I totally get it. Because also when I started, there weren't much of people there, like 7 years ago. I also started it when I was in Egypt, and it was really like very few companies starting with it. So when I was lost, the forum what I used to go to. So I do appreciate that I was lost one day and I found this, and I usually keep telling people, go to the forum. You are starting, but someone else started way before you, so they might be asking the same question that you're asking. So
so just a note behind the scenes of the podcast, I did give everyone all of their questions a few weeks ahead of time. I mentioned in some of the promo videos that we have almost 400 questions, so I'm referencing this stack of paper quite a bit to remember what I wrote. But this question you can really prepare for, because I'm going to ask you about what you just saw at the keynote, and I want to hear your kind of reaction to what was shared.
I love the surprises in the keynote. It was nice, but definitely what I love the most is like the Odyssey is now for everyone. We have been waiting for that, for developers to use the tool. That's what matters for me. Developers have to use the tool to know what they are dealing with. So having Odyssey for everyone and now also unified platform, that's amazing. That's amazing. Because I think it's like you're not really throwing away what you did.
Yeah.
We don't want to do the repetitive work. Again, we loved OutSystem because it saves us time. So if you're telling me that O11 and ODC now is not unified to one thing with AI, I think that's more than what we asked.
Yeah. What do you think of the new CEO? Did he do a good job presenting?
He did good with the energy.
Nice. I love to hear that. Amazing. So, like I said, you're very involved. What advice would you give to developers maybe tuning in now to get more involved if they are interested in doing so?
I would always say try to give before try to give before even taking back from the community. Giving is going to teach you a lot. And show up as much as you can. Show up to the user group, show up to these events, show up online even, because there is a lot of channels that you can show up to it and learn from each other. And learning also resources for OutSystem is out there. It's anyone can really take a look and really can do it. So go further. Don't just take to the things, learn up until the edge if you can as well.
Nice, very nice. I love that. So we've got a few minutes left here. I'd love to hear what the energy is like at the conference this year. How are people? Are they just shuffling around from session to session, or is there some excitement built? Or?
I think I'm feeling like a buzz of networking here this year more than anything else.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's I think it's a buzz of everyone's now want to know what's happening right now, because I think past years was what's next. Now we really want to know what's happening. What did we do and everything? And there is this buzz and energy around that people really want to know and discover things. So I loved it.
Amazing. What do you have a session you're really looking forward to seeing?
I will check the agenda.
Because you're here for the networking.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Does that mean you'll be? I believe there's an MVP dinner, correct?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So the
barbecue.
Yeah, a barbecue. Not only a barbecue, but a barbecue apparently at an extremely fancy hotel. I found this out recently. I was not invited. They're going to just leave me in this box all day and night, which is fine. I totally get it. I've just noticed there's a key in the door, which means they can in fact lock us in, and they will. Okay, so where can viewers find you or your work?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay, cool.
I'm always there. I'm always answering there. And the user groups in Egypt.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Yes.
Do you do them all in person, or are they virtual hybrid?
90% in person.
Very
so
nice.
that's also good that we can network and meet each other. And I would love if they can show up there. It's,
Hell yeah. What's the crowd size like when you have a user group?
Depends, 20 up until 50 or something. So
I'm jealous. Listen, American community, I need you to show up in person to these user groups. We've got a really cool NYC user group, which I'm talking with João about in 2 sessions here. And I know there's someone from NYC joining in the chat. Please come to our user groups. They're really, really cool. We're in competition with the entire rest of the world. And everyone looks down on us for our 10 to 15 participants. We want to get up to 20, 30. That's really exciting. All right. Here's a tough one.
Okay.
Let's compare conferences. I know you were at last year's. I don't know if you've been to others. Be brutally honest with us. So far, does one Lisbon 2025 beat out one Amsterdam 2024?
Oh.
We are very early in the conference. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I know that we are early, and I'm not trying to be biased about that. Kind of love the weather in Lisbon.
That's true.
That's true. That's very true. But I don't know. I think I do think it will be, not because of anything, but I think there is some kind of, I was telling you that there is some kind of buzz around. There is some kind of buzz around for people here and more energetic, more internationally. I know people that could not really make it last year to the Amsterdam and they attended this year.
Yes.
So I have to say, I know that we are too early, but I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
Do you live in Portugal? I'm unsure.
No, I live in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you fly into Portugal? Today?
How
For this, when did you fly in here?
on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you run into the hurricane winds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flight wasn't easy, but I came in one piece. So
Most of the American team at OutSystems did red eyes Saturday night into Sunday morning, and like half the people I've talked to had to circle the airport a little bit or fly into crosswinds. Very exciting, but it didn't rain, so that was nice. So all right. One more kind of fluffy question here. Were you able to check out the lunch yet? I don't know when it's scheduled. Is it now?
But there were just pastel de natas, which is...
Oh, what? I missed No,
should not.
I literally talked about them in our
I should
event
sneak some
description.
for you.
You should. Or people are just gonna walk by carrying
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
make us so upset. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been great to catch up. I know you talked to Cecilia last year. We miss her terribly. Cecilia, if you're watching on LinkedIn, please say hi. We miss you. But thank you again. This was
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
I will be right back with Mano and Ricardo from the UX team after this quick video.
I would not tell anyone. I had a developer working with me. We were working in different time zones. He was basically migrating one thing from one old platform version to a new one. And I was reviewing the code in the day after, and I saw lots of warnings saying this is not being used, this is not being used. And I thought, okay, let me review this, let me clean this up. Because he was in the middle, let me help. And in the status meeting, I just said, oh, I was reviewing and I saw some code that was not being used, and so I deleted it and now it's clean. And he just said, you should not have been done this. I am migrating stuff, so that were the stuff that I still need to work on. I was, okay, oops, sorry. I was trying to help and I just deleted everything that he was trying to migrate. It was a bit... I was a bit ashamed.
And we're back. Joining me now are Mano and Ricardo from the UX team at OutSystems. I would love for you to introduce yourselves, not only to our audience at home, but full disclosure, I've never met either of you in person, so this is very exciting for me. Let's start with Mano.
Hi, I'm Menno. I'm a neuroscientist by training. I took a wrong turn somewhere, so I ended up in IT. Joined OutSystems in 2015. Been away for a while and came back because the product and the company is awesome. So
Amazing. And Ricardo?
Hey, so I'm Ricardo. I'm an engineer at heart, so I've had I had my training in engineering. But then I joined OutSystems 18 years ago, so it was a lot of time ago. And as I moved along, I started falling in love with the world of UX, and then I moved to the UX team, and now I am leading part of the team.
Very
and
cool.
I have Menno as my boss.
sorry.
That was great. I love when I have a boss on the stream. If anyone wants to jump in the chat and say what a great job Ricardo is doing, feel free. I'll make sure Menno sees it. Okay, so each of you has over a decade of tenure with OutSystems. Can you speak to the experience your team has had at the conference over the years and kind of what you're seeing this year?
Sure. So it's great to see how big it is. Like when you join in 2015, I mean, it was a slightly different scale than now. But it's always amazing to see partners, customers, and people actually using our products, getting close to them, talking to them, understanding them. That's amazing, I think. So it's nice, and it's bigger and bigger each year. So
That's awesome. What about you?
Yeah. So I feel the same. So it's getting bigger and bigger. As we were doing the keynote and I saw that immense stage, I still remember the first next steps. It was the old conference name. It wasn't the one. It was the next step. I still remember the first ones that we did, which were much smaller. And I recall one moment where the team had this thing written in paper to warn Paulo Rosado about something that he had to do in the demo. And then he forgot about it, and then we put the paper okay, you gotta do this, you gotta close this. And so it was a different time. And in these events, it's really good to really feel the energy of our users, of our customers, of our community. And I'm very, 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 I feel very, very proud of what we've been building here.
Wonderful.
And being part of this, it's great.
Yeah.
I was part of making all these people come together. So this is
Awesome.
very good feeling.
That's great to hear. So we've mentored the keynote a bunch already, and I realize I haven't told you all at home how you might be able to watch it soon. Last year, we got it out very, very fast, a recording for everyone to watch. This year, I'm going to hope we're going to do the same, but every time I've asked the video team to give me an exact date, they've just sort of looked at me with a blank face and terror in their eyes. So I think it's going to be quick. Keep an eye on our social channels. It will be posted on our website as soon as we can. But it's really cool. That keynote stage is wild. I walked in there the other day and I was very thankful I was only having to talk in this tiny booth instead of that enormous stage with all those lights and animations and everything. So yeah. Though I am jealous of their teleprompter. I've got all my notes on paper. It's not as fancy. So let's get into the weeds a little bit here. We've seen the app development experience evolve from the IDE to include conversational interfaces. From a UX leadership perspective, what do you envision the future for app development? What will its primary sort of form factor be?
Yeah, I can start with this one. So I think that's going to always be a balance between all these form factors. So there are people that like having control and like doing the stuff, and so they will always want the UI. And there are people that's more open to these new conversational interfaces. And I consider myself as some of the old guys that are on the UI. So everything has to be there has to be a button for something, not just a chatbot. But we're gonna see. I think that we're gonna see a mix of both, and then balancing out through time.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a lot of what OutSystems does. Mixes of both, like low code and bringing in your own code, and now AI and bringing in your own code as well. That's very cool. Do you have a response to?
Sure. So what I find really interesting is that like with AI, it kind of opens the box for everything. As in, like, I don't know, people are asking like, but can I speak to it, or can I upload a picture, or can I upload a design? Like, can I? So it's really, I think, conversational is here now, yeah, sure, but it will evolve even further and really get closer to how the developers think and what they want to achieve, and even close the loop between what they're building and why they're building what they're building. So even
Absolutely.
closer to business, which I think is a very exciting problem to solve.
Yeah,
So,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Big challenge ahead for both of you.
yeah. Makes sense.
So today, a developer starts by choosing the type of app they want to build, web, mobile, an agent. How do you see the experience evolving there? What will the primary, I guess, interaction model there be for developers in the future?
So I think right now, from a product perspective, basically what we're doing and what we're making available is that a developer can build anything that they want to do. So we'll always give the opportunity for you, if it's an app, if it's an agent, if it's a workflow, if it's something with a human in the loop, if it's whatever, because it's our job to abstract all the complexities to the point that it becomes easy for you to build whatever your business or whatever you have to do. And this will evolve even further. Like, I don't think apps and agents is just it. But because AI is moving so fast and the market is moving so fast, it's also our plans are moving fast too.
Yeah.
Like, we have to adjust and check, and the market is evolving. So lots of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How does that market movement get communicated to you all? Is the C-suite saying, "Hey, we have to do this now," or is there like a little bit of collaboration there too?
This is recorded, right? So
It's live and recorded. Yes.
how is that communicated? No, so I think there are a lot of questions from a lot of people.
Yeah.
From above, from below, from everyone. And it's also like in the market as well. Like, if you go to the established entities, or I mean, now on LinkedIn, we have often like LinkedIn lives from companies that are showcasing what they're doing with AI. And it's like a continuous new stream of like market research and evolution. And it's not really market research. It's like everyone is watching what AI is doing and how AI is evolving. But there's definitely an increase in questions on updates of, instead of giving an overview in the past, like yearly or quarterly of like competitive landscape, it's more like, weekly, if not
Yes.
daily.
yeah, I get it.
So that changes the work a bit. But
Yeah, no, I know our developers at home at lots of companies that maybe wouldn't necessarily have an AI tool built into their stack yet have been told by someone in the C-suite, hey, let's do something with AI. And I think it's really cool that OutSystems has all these tools to implement it, both in the development of apps and for the end user of the apps. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think everyone is in agreement that sometimes it comes from on high. So a lot of tools are emerging that enable developers to create pixel perfect interfaces in this sort of crowded space. What do you believe distinguishes the OutSystems platform from a UX UI perspective? What's sort of our unique selling position?
that's a very
I can,
open.
I can give it a try. So one of the main differences, and we've seen this in the keynote, is that it's not just about the UI and the first looks of the application. Okay, so it's the foundations that we have, the platform that we have, that guarantees you all the scalability, all the security, all the compliance of everything that's built. And so that's a major difference from all other competitors. But we all need to keep an eye on every as we're talking every week. There's something new showing up every day. There's something new showing up, and so we need to keep up with that. So yeah.
Software development is a tough job. So one of the key responsibilities of your team as a UX team is focusing on user research. We have a massive user research program with thousands of registered users who provide feedback on the product daily. We also have a bunch of sort of non-program participants that are giving feedback all the time. Can you share with us how you manage the process of collecting and then handling this constant influx of feedback?
Yeah, sure. So we have a dedicated research team, and in the program, like, we can ask specific research questions about things that we want to understand, and there's a lot of databases with all the research we've done that we can pull from, and I think it's very important also, the research can come from users, from customers, from partners, from prospects, from just generically developers or engineers. And yeah, they're now actually with AI, it's a lot more fun as well, because you can query this massive pool of data. Give me 3 people that struggle from Portal to Studio.
Very nice.
And then it really helps you accelerate and get to those findings quicker. That's really nice to see, because otherwise you need a lot of reading time and a lot
you're just
of
going
browsing.
Command F.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
I think AI can do a little bit more than Command F, but it's a good way to start with it. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So this might be a tough question. What's been some feedback that you have implemented from the community that you're like, yeah, you're right, we got to adjust that?
May I go with that?
Go.
So we've been hearing a lot of users asking for O11 improvements, and I believe that today we shared with them the biggest improvement of O11 ever. That it's going to work together with ODC flawlessly in a unified future platform that we'll be building. And that every customer can benefit from having ODC working alongside O11, and that also every customer is eligible to have an ODC organization for them. And so, to me, this is the greatest. For me, this is the greatest improvement. And I'm actually at the booth where we have some demos of some early access programs that we have running for coexistence. And there's a lot of interest in people now that they know that, okay, now I can also use ODC in my customer, that they want to know how to integrate the data, how to centralize the users, how to use logic from one side and the other. And so that's something huge that's coming, and I believe it's going to be a big improvement for all
Absolutely.
big ecosystem of O11 apps that were built throughout this year.
user feedback program you have is all of a sudden going to be just glowing reviews because of this unified situation. It's exciting. I actually, I had a question come in when I was chatting with Abeer that she couldn't answer because she is an MVP and not an OutSystems team member. But I'm going to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Chaz? I'm going with the California pronunciation there. He was asking if you're using both O11 and ODC, can the apps you build interact across platforms? How does that like functionally look? Because none of them in the audience have seen the keynote other than one small video. So how does it functionally work?
Okay. Yeah. So what we have is the ability for you in O11 to select entities, data that you can consume in ODC.
Okay.
Okay. And so the apps that you build in ODC, the apps or the agents that you build in ODC can leverage on all the data that you have on O11. Okay. Cool. And then we also have the ability for ODC apps to have the same users as the ones that exist in O11. And so it means that the end users of your applications, they are the same. Okay, so they don't need to have an extra login or do an extra registration. They can work the same elsewhere, everywhere. And we have we're also working on the ability to consume logic in ODC to consume logic from O11. And so this basically closes the gap. And today in the afternoon we're going to have some really cool demos of.
Don't spoil it.
No, this was announced in the keynote, so I can spoil it, which is really cool. So, building an agent in ODC that uses data from O11.
Wow.
And then integrating this agent into an O11 app. And so you can see the whole spectrum of unification working together.
Everything you say here is a spoiler because no one's seen the keynote even. So thank you for spoiling. It was great. The rest of the videos, I mentioned the keynote earlier, but the rest of the videos we're recording every talk. You'll be able to watch them. Yeah. It may take up to a month to post every talk, but they're all going to be on the website. Don't worry.
And it's great stuff, I promise.
It's going to be very, very cool. And you can see the enormous stage I talked about earlier as well. So we've been through some big changes as a company in 2025. We changed direction on O11. We got a new CEO. But next year, we're going to keep trucking. So I'd love to hear what you're excited for over the coming year.
So for me, it's quite easy. I think I'm really excited for the evolution of what vibe coding and enterprise will bring. Like, how will the conversational layer evolve? How will the AI evolve? How will we get better and smarter at suggestions and help the developer do their jobs? And I think there's a lot to become in Studio, in Portal, like across the board. And also the SDLC as a unit will change and evolve, and I think that's a super interesting space to be in. So that's, I think, really next year will be all about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, amazing. Well, thank you both for joining us. This was great chatting to you for the first time in person. I will see you both on Slack. But next up, not to play favorites, but one of my favorite MVPs. I'm playing favorites. João Sousa is going to be joining me. Stay tuned for just a few seconds while these gentlemen scramble out and João scrambles back in. Back, João.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Please
you.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, João Sousa. I've been working with OutSystems for the past 15 years, since a long way. I'm head of the low-code development team at Accelerated Focus, a US Northern American partner, and I've been an MVP also for a long time, where I focus my expertise at the MVP space in the user groups that we run together, and the talks and articles.
Very nice, very nice. So we, of course, know each other pretty well because you are my hero, moved from Portugal to New York City and helped me launch and establish the New York City user group, which we have someone from New York on the chat.
Really?
I'm going to tell you again. Show up to the New York City user group. It's really, really fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Lots of great talks.
You should come.
So can you talk a little bit to our audience at home about the reasons to go in person to a user group?
Oh, definitely. It's a great experience. It's just not about the being together as a community, because the user groups are an extension of all these great events that we've been going through for all the past years. But it's also the possibility for us to exchange knowledge and a little bit of wisdom sometimes with everyone, and for them to talk about the use case that they are running. I've been doing user groups since forever, back in the Netherlands, Germany, and of course going into the US and not be involved in a user group, I would feel incomplete. For sure.
Amazing. Yeah, oftentimes João is one of our premier speakers at the New York City user group, but we also there's a fly in the booth with me, so if you see me going like this, it's because a fly got in. I don't know how. But like I said, we're very much sealed in here. Someone must have brought it in. So João frequently talks about use cases he's seen at the user group. We also have product team members join in all across the world. Sometimes you'll hear from a co-founder of OutSystems. Sometimes you'll hear from a customer that's using OutSystems in a really cool way. Totally worth it to go in person. So let's talk about your employer a little bit. Accelerated Focus is a fantastic OutSystems partner. I guess open-ended. What sort of work do you do there?
So we basically focus ourselves in delivering solutions with OutSystems. OutSystems, it is our preferred platform of choice. We've been involved in the multiple projects throughout multiple sectors, from banking, insurance, government, logistics, all over the place, as we like to be. It's all about the technical challenge that we need to face, independently of the business behind it. And we also focus on delivering COE programs and enabling other customers. So if anyone wants to learn how to properly adopt the platform, I would say that we are the preferred partner for that, for sure.
Very cool. It can be an undertaking. I know we all love it.
No, it is. There's a big difference between the sales moment and the reality, as we usually say.
Yes, of course.
From the demos at the one conference to the actual builds.
Yeah.
But we like to. It's a great challenge, and being able to decode all that into great applications, and being able to meet the expectations of customers, or sometimes even go beyond that. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience.
Amazing. So when I was talking to Abeer, I talked a lot about the benefits to being an MVP. Sometimes it's a lot of work, like answering questions on the forum, and sometimes it's being having an exclusive channel to the product team to give feedback. But it's also about getting your hands on the product before it's released. So I know you've been deep into the Agent Workbench early access program, which is now over.
Yes.
Because we just announced it's
GA.
in general availability. Yes. So many of our audience members at home will be getting their hands on it soon, if not right now, when they've just heard me say that and they're all leaving the stream, which I get. It's very exciting. Our CEO Woodson even recognized you personally for your work recently, I believe on LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what have you been building?
Yeah, definitely the AP was a great opportunity for me to be able to explore all the learnings that I've been gathering throughout this month. It was something that was missing in the platform, and to be honest, I wasn't surprised, but I was extremely happy to see how everything came together.
Yeah.
I think that now the version that got released today is already with a substantial amount of features that we can explore. The most of the normal use cases of the modern AI. And because I remember when I was doing a project before Workbench and I had to implement everything by hand, it's still fast in low code, but still, now with Workbench, definitely it will be even a bigger accelerator, and it was great. I posted an article recently, so community, if you guys want to check it out, it explains you, and it's a nice walkthrough on how to basically interact and work with the features.
Very cool. Can you talk about what specifically you built with Workbench?
So I built a CI/CD pipeline, or at least the starting of.
Yeah.
One of the challenges that I leave in the article for the community is potentially to complete it and go throughout from left to right with in the pipeline. But the overall idea is to leveraging from the API, the lifetime API. And we saw a little bit of that today in one of the demos in the keynote. But the idea was to take that API and bring all those tools into the agentic space and be able to interact, to give them to the model so that the model could interact with those tools and actually deploy everything that is whatever people want to deploy from the environment.
Amazing. Yeah, Pradnya in the YouTube chat mentioned she was able to get her hands on Workbench during the hackathon. That was one of the benefits for being a hackathon participant. Yeah. We are going to talk to 2 hackathon participants later on in the show, I think the 3 p.m. hour. But we also have a booth here where we're just sharing what it's like for developers to give back. And it's good on its own, but also you get early access to our features with it.
It is important. For me, particularly, it was extremely beneficial because I'm actually, I was invited, and AF was invited to build the training.
Very cool.
Something that it's being launched today. I hope that I'm not, putting myself ahead of the training guys. But definitely one of the things that OutSystems will be releasing is the AI training, and it's a huge responsibility for me, particularly because I'm helping to conceive all that part. But still, having access to the AP helped me a lot to fulfill the backlog of the content that I need to have in order to educate others on how to work with the tool.
Yeah, you are a very, very busy man. I will message you about something about the user group or possibly your speaking engagements at a local college in New York. Yeah. And you will get back to me relatively quickly with something like, I'm working right now. I'll get back to you in a few hours. And now you've got another project on your plate, so that's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. It's a great responsibility.
Yeah.
Because it's educating everyone in the community about what AI looks like and how can be executed throughout the platform. But we believe that there is a space for, and still a lot of knowledge that needs to be closed.
Absolutely.
That gap needs to be closed. So we are going from, the not too exhausting into the nitty details of the LLMs but still testing the surface on those.
Yeah.
Prompt engineering. And then up to in the end we'll help how to build explain how to build agents, and then of course the agentic AI with the other workflows, because to take the most, and like we saw in the demo, have the opportunity to build those experiences where you can have agents talking to agents. And I think that it's not science fiction anymore. It's something that you can actually build with our dearest.
So that training program, will people be able to find it at the training site on OutSystems website? Very cool.
It's a workshop.
Okay.
Ideally to be given on class.
Okay.
It's something that I leave for George and Manuel to talk about.
Awesome. So if you need training on OutSystems, we have our training videos online. We also have Developer School. If any of you are brand new and want to get hands-on with the platform and have a instructor-led class, we have something called Developer Schools around the world that are really great. They're 2-week-long programs. We also have a new program that launched this year called Fast Track, which is taking you from a relatively junior developer that knows the platform all the way up to speed. Sorry, I just had to do a pitch.
No, zero excuses to learn OutSystems.
It's true.
All this content is free.
It is. It is all free.
No excuses.
We work really hard to make it maybe not easy to learn, because it is a very complex platform, but accessible to learn. I'll say that.
Yeah. Not that difficult platform. But,
No, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it is very complex, and you can do basically anything with it.
True.
So if you get in there on a major project for work and you don't know what you're doing, you can make a horrible app.
Yeah, definitely. It's, spaghetti code exists everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Even in OutSystems if you don't control it.
Exactly. Are we going to see you at the One World Tour stop in Miami on November 19th?
Yes.
Amazing.
I'm looking forward to. I don't know yet, but I'm trying to present a case that we ran with a customer. I think it was our big first AI project with it. We had an amazing outcome with all that. We were able to reduce the costs of the operation for them. Basically, we went in the end when we start measuring all the work. We were 140 times faster when compared if the process was done manually. So if you see the metric was something like in a 30-day project, we were able to save 1.67 years of someone going through that. So cost-wise, we go for something like $7. It was a use case with documents. It's like $7 a document that would just reduce to 0.0005, which is an amazing outcome.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of working with OutSystems and talking to people about OutSystems is making absurd claims and then showing them that it's true.
Yep.
I've had to go to a bunch of developer conferences around the U.S. this year, and some people don't know what OutSystems is at all, and they walk up and I say, we've been around for a while. We have a really huge community. Someone look up on outsystems.com/community what our community numbers are. I know last year at this time we were over 800,000. I think we're probably over 850,000 right now. We've got a huge amount of developers on OutSystems. And what I always hear is, I built something so fast. It was amazing. Yeah. Okay, so you've been to quite a few OutSystems conferences over your more than 10 years as an OutSystems developer. What have been some of the conference highlights in previous years, and then what's the highlight so far here?
I would say that every time there's a new thing that is announced is the highlight, okay? And I think that for the first time in a few years, the big difference from those past years to now is that we actually have a version of what is announced in GA. So guys,
that's exciting.
Go online, have you register for your personal environment and start building agents, because you can. I remember in the past experiences when we were introducing OutSystems 10 and the mobile experience in 11, everything is going to happen, but it was not immediate. And I think that now this is the big difference is now we can actually start working, and everyone can start working directly into the features.
Amazing. I'm seeing we have some folks, multiple folks from Brazil have just joined us. Chaz, thank you for recognizing that I pronounced your name correct. That's really exciting. So keep putting in the chat as you join where you're tuning in from, because we would love to know. João, thank you for making the trip all the way from beautiful New York City to be here. It's been great catching up with you. I will see you later out there. Because guess what? You're done with me for a little while. Logan is coming back in, and we have a speaker joining him to talk all about the talk you'll be able to see in a couple weeks. Stay tuned through these videos.
Which is nicer to you, OutSystems UI or AI Mentor Studio?
AI Mentor Studio.
AI Mentor Studio or OutSystems Forge?
OutSystems Forge.
OutSystems Forge or True Change?
True Change.
True Change or Scaffolding?
Scaffolding.
Scaffolding or one-click publish?
One-click publish. So much happening behind the scenes. Yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah, indeed.
Everything comes with a challenge, and everything's been a learning experience. I was working on a small project for a customer, and we were basically going to do deployment to live. So I went to do a A dry run involved clearing tables just to make sure once we ran bootstraps, everything was working correctly. I messed up. I basically did a delete of everything and then some, which included deleting the role for the OutSystems administrator. Essentially, I lost access to doing things in the environment. Some laughed, obviously. I don't recall if it was when I was trying to do things testing, or if it was when I clicked on the button. Luckily, there was a solution to it, and for those who don't know, it's publish system components, and you'll get that role back. But yeah, in the end, we did get help. So I think that's the one that stuck with me and everybody that lived that situation with me.
Here in Lisbon, it's been crazy going through all this. I'm taking over for Eliza for a little bit, but I think one of the privileges that I get with this job is I get to talk to some really amazing people, some of the best leaders in the industry when it comes to tech. And I'm joined by one here right now. His name's Tiago. Tiago, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Could you please maybe give us an introduction and talk about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Tiago, and probably one of the reasons why we are here today is because in this last months, I had this curiosity of start playing with OutSystems and AI and doing some really cool things. And yes, this brought me into a whole different new world where I can engage with you guys. I can talk with OutSystems. We can talk about the new features that we have around AI. We can talk about that. It's really cool. Really cool. Thanks for the invite.
That's incredible. And of course, you're a speaker here at the conference. So let's maybe dive into a little bit about your session. If you can maybe give us the name of your session and what are you going to be talking about?
Yeah, so my session is how to implement MCP in OutSystems. And as the name states, that the main goal is to show how we can engage MCP capabilities inside the OutSystems enterprise applications. In the end, it's all about the applications and the enterprise level that we can bring those things out.
Yeah, so I mean, now MCP is a fairly new topic in software development world. Probably came out within the last year and a half or so. Yeah. But could you maybe give us a high-level overview of what MCP is?
Yeah. So first, I do imagine that it can be like a huge flood of terms like AI model, AI agent, MCP. Then we have also A2A. So there are a lot of these names, then we don't know really what they are, right? But for the MCP, I think I can give you here an example. So imagine that you would ask me if I want to go tomorrow with you to see a movie, right? In cinema, right? So if you do that, you would feel a bit strange if I would answer you something like, success false, error message, other plans. So it would be strange, right? Because the way we talk is what it's called an unstructured communication. So we talk like we are doing here. We don't use a JSON format. We don't use this type of things, right? But at the same time, if I go to Google Maps and I say, hey, Google Maps, show me the path to OutSystems office, right?
Yeah.
The Google would know how to reply because he is prepared to receive APIs. We should call APIs, not talk with him, right? Of course, it has that features, but we should not implement it here. But what I mean is that Anthropic, probably you know Anthropic from Claude. It was the company that developed Claude, a competitor from OpenAI. They noticed this issue, and so last year, they created something called functions or tools. Nowadays, we say more in terms of tools, and they gave this capacity to the agents where they say, hey, agent, you will have these sorts of tools, right? So if the user asks you to give him directions of how to go to OutSystems headquarters, right? You can call this tool, you give these parameters, and it will give a response. So with the MCP protocol, you can convert an unstructured communication to a structured communication. And this brings together agents with systems, because for the first time, you can make an agent call the APIs that the systems from many years already use.
Yeah, so it's basically like a universal intelligent tool. I would almost think of like a USB-C cable, but for like the
Yes.
software development
Yeah,
world.
exactly like that. A universal remote control where the agent can click the buttons to call those tools.
Yeah,
Exactly.
actually be able to access whatever you need it to access, and it intelligently decides what it needs to pick from. Is that
Yes.
how-
So in a very quick way, what happens underneath is that on the agent you have what it's called the MCP client. On the server you have the MCP server, and because this is a protocol, so they have a common language. So this means that the MCP client says, "Hey server, I have here an agent. Give me your capabilities." And the agent say, "Oh, hello. We have these tools. We have these prompts. We have these resources. Feel free to use them." And then the MCP client says to the agent, "Hey, I just talked with a guy, and we have these tools, these files. So whenever you want them, just ask me, and I will give it to you."
Yeah. So now, as far as like, we kind of talked about like what MCP is and like what it can do. How do some of these features actually benefit our apps? Like, what are the benefits of leveraging MCP in our applications?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question because for me, in my personal opinion, and I think for most people here, OutSystems is the best tool to build and deliver enterprise scalable solutions, right?
Yeah.
So you don't use OutSystems to create smallpox or small funny things. We are talking about real business data, real business enterprises.
Yeah. There's actual costs to this, to using it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the clients do find or have the critical requirement of integrating their applications with external systems, even if it is for external systems to talk with our applications, or the other way around, for the applications to ask things from external systems. So the having APIs, exposing APIs to the outside world is a very common use case for most clients, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that AI agents are growing now in the market and they will not disappear. Of course, we have a hype, but the hype will stabilize and this will shift completely the way we work. So
yeah, it'll move to like a
agents-
more mature
Yes,
model. Yeah.
AI agents will mature, no doubt about it. So if you have already APIs to expose to other systems, and you also believe that AI agents will be a future, you also need to open these APIs to the possibility of external agents to talk with them. So the moment that you use an MCP inside OutSystems, it's like if you put a layer on top of the APIs that you already give to the outside world, but you put this layer that allows also AI agents to ask for the same things. So it's systems with systems, but also agents with your systems.
Yeah.
So you open your business to the agentic world.
Yeah, and I think we talked a little bit about this before we started our session, but the layering of agents is really kind of a new thing, right? Like I think when we as developers we always think about like I have one agent that does one thing, but in terms of like MCP in the future, it's more of we're now starting to layer AI.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if I can stand a lot on this, but one of the interests that I now have, mostly because of my architect passion, is what I'm calling the three agentic layer canvas. That is a way for you to build an architect of agents where you have in the first layer the UI agent or your personal assistant that talk with you and knows you and knows that you like to make a joke in the beginning of a session, so and he knows your name and so on. But then we also have a second layer of agents that I call the business agents, that they are expertise in certain domains of your business.
Yeah.
And these agents will have to talk with the systems. So when we are talking every time about agents having to talk with systems, we are talking about MCP here in the middle. So I think that this will grow and this will become a normal protocol, except in 10 years, it will be a normal situation.
Yeah, it's crazy to think because I feel like just 10 years ago we were having conversations of like, oh, REST API separating out your business logic from like your actual data layers and extracting things, and it was so basic then compared to what's happening now, especially in the AI space. But we're also still having those same conversations. Of, we're gonna have like one layer that interacts with customers, one layer that interacts like with business logic, and then actually touches the data.
Exactly.
Of those systems.
And I think that's amazing how OutSystems are now creating the agents and exposing for everyone to start scaling agents everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it will be a really cool marketplace, not a real marketplace, but the Forge filled with agents that we can really fast connect them to our applications.
And actually, speaking of the Forge and using OutSystems with MCP, how do you see maybe MCP in OutSystems low code changing the workflow for developers? Like, the reason why I'm asking this question is I kind of feel like in traditional application development sense, it's a lot of work, even though AI is supposed to be helping us make it easier, right? How does low code change the game?
Yeah. So first of all, I was always a huge fan of the way we built with OutSystems, the visual aids, the fact that we drag and drop a lot of elements. It helps not just accelerating, but even if you are a kind of person that normally talk to yourself, I don't know, if you have that normally troubleshoot
the voice,
option,
the developer voice telling you this is how I'm going to solve this problem. Yeah.
So OutSystems offers you a perfect visually way for you to talk to your brain. So you do this and you do that, why this is happening. And this is amazing because it accelerates. And when the MCP appeared, so when Anthropic released the MCP, they released already a lot of libraries in Python or C# for us to implement MCP servers in our business. But when I saw that, my first thought was, I don't want to use pure code in an external library, put it on ODC. I want everyone to see with the same visual help. So I want to build the MCP server that exists on the Forge component with the same way we use OutSystems for years. So, and I think this way it's easier to engage. It's easier to learn about MCP and to use it.
Yeah. So now, how do tools like O11 and ODC help integrate MCP specifically into our applications?
Yeah. So I think the potential here, because MCP is an open protocol. So if you go to the MCP website, you see the full protocol, and if you want, you can implement it, right? And that's what I did in OutSystems. So I think the key question here is not so much how MCP was put it in O11 in ODC, but what it is possible to do with that. Because the moment that you have this protocol in OutSystems in your environment and available to be easily configured and used in your enterprise applications, it really speeds up the way you open yourself to the agents, because we are not talking anymore about doing your own tool calling of the agents for this, for that. In a matter of days, you can open all the APIs that you already have open for other systems. You can put them in open also to agents. So instead of taking weeks or months, you can do this in a matter of days.
Yeah. Yes. And I know it's like, I come from a traditional development background, and I think about like traditional code, it's weeks of work.
Yes.
You know, even to use AI, it still takes weeks of work.
Yes,
but
indeed.
I see that we are running out of time, so I have one last question for you. Do you have any parting thoughts for our viewers? And of course, the work you're doing with MCP, where can we find it? Where can our viewers see what you're up to?
Yeah. Let me start with the second. The MCP server application is in both Forge for O11 and for ODC. MCP client, I don't need to worry because we will have that now with the Agent Workbench. So it's really cool. It closes all the scope of the MCP. But you can also find me in my YouTube channel. I started a YouTube channel in the beginning of this year, and I have a lot of videos about systems and AI, also some others exploring more in theory AI, the concept of AI. So feel free to go there. But if you would ask me one advice that I can give here, I would give the same advice that I've always talked with my colleagues at work. AI is a completely different way of developing, and it's very hard for us developers to embrace the way of working with AI, because AI resembles more to a human behavior than to a machine. And as developers, normally we do like control, we do like stability. We like to know that if we call this ball, it will have this effect, and then I call the other ball, right? So with agents it's different, because agents, you are talking with a person. You need to give orders or requests like you were talking with a person and not with a machine. So if you want to start as a developer, start working with AI, first of all, just do it.
Yeah.
Just start doing
Dive
things.
into it.
Dive to it. And second, think of AI as an employee or a colleague and not as a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Tiago, thank you so much for joining
you.
us. You've been
It was a
amazing. Of course, everyone, stay tuned. I have 2 more guests joining me, another Tiago and Anna. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you shortly. Hello, welcome back. I am joined here with 2 other speakers, Tiago and Anna.
Hi.
Hi, how you guys
are
doing? Good, how are you? Why don't you guys please introduce yourselves and just tell the audience a little bit about yourselves.
Yes. So I'm Tiago. I've been working with OutSystems for the past 7 years. And last year I got the opportunity to be a speaker and to be interviewed here at Dico. And I really enjoyed the experience. So this year I tried to find someone at Moxie with a really cool subject. And here I am again.
Yeah, not gonna lie. So we pre-choose the session. So I personally picked your session because I want to talk to you guys and learn a little bit more about like what you're working on, what you're doing. But before go ahead, Anna.
So hi, Mana. I'm a former civil engineer, but I've been working with OutSystems for 5 years. And right now I'm really finding it interesting how we can integrate AI with OutSystems. So I had this idea of building Jarvis, and I just thought maybe this is a good title for one, and I just tried my luck and hope. Thank you for choosing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So this actually kind of dives in. So why don't you tell us the name of your session and what your session is about?
Our session is called Building Jarvis Without Systems, the Iron Man AI assistant. And it's a funny story because our title had Powered by RAG, but OutSystems evolved so fast that the presentation has changed along the way, and we got the opportunity to use Workbench, and that changed our presentation a lot. Our application used a lot. Workbench became the star of our application.
Was it really tough to have to make the switch? Because it seems like this all has escalated very quickly.
Yeah, so for your understanding, it's just what I thought about doing when I first applied to one is not what I end up doing at all. But it was a good thing because we had the opportunity to use Workbench, and it completely changed the presentation. So the AI and everything we built using Workbench, the Jarvis process, but basically his heart, Tony Stark's heart, changed. So everything was built without systems, and before we had to use maybe AI agents or something, but Workbench changed everything.
Yeah.
And Jarvis is the perfect example of a personal assistant. So it sets the bar for everything. From all the other tools are chasing the Jarvis vision.
Yeah.
Even Google tried to build Jarvis. So I just thought, what can I build with AI? And it was Jarvis.
Yeah, no, totally understand. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of Marvel, huge fan of Iron Man specifically. Can you tell us what inspired you to choose Jarvis as like the smart assistant?
Yeah. It's because it sets the bar. It's like it's the ultimate personal assistant. It's an assistant that understands context and makes your life easier, basically.
Yeah.
So it sets the bar for what smart personal assistants should be. That's why I chose Jarvis, because what other smart agent do you think about when I talk about automation? It's Jarvis from Iron Man.
Yeah.
And it started in 2008. So
yeah, it's so intuitive, right? Being
Yeah.
able to. Oh, sorry, me just talking to the mic. No worries. So actually, put you guys on the spot here a little bit because I picked this session. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Iron Man. I actually had a 3D printing project that I was working on to bring you guys. I did not get it done in time, but I want to challenge you, and I think we could do this. But together, I actually printed a 3D printed like helmet of the Iron Man suit that is like fully animatronic.
Just a second. We do have a helmet.
You do have a helmet? Oh my gosh, I have to go to your booth and actually
we have an helmet in the booth, and you have to use it.
Yes.
It
Is
has
Jarvis
like-
integrated into the helmet?
No, not yet.
No,
but we have the phone. We have the app on the phone. You can try it there.
Yes, because I totally would love to work on a project like that. It would be so cool to do that. But to get back into the session, can you maybe give us a high level explanation of like Agent Workbench with RAG and how you incorporated those two things together?
Yeah, so agent Workbench, we used Workbench to build the agents that will do the tasks we asked Jarvis. So Jarvis receives the user's request, and agent and Workbench divides and chooses which agents need to step in. And RAG, we use it so Jarvis has a documentation where it fetches the information and it knows which information to fetch. So it's really important because you have a personalized database.
Yeah.
And Jarvis, instead of hallucinating, it just fetches the right information for you to use. In terms of, in our case, it's CVs, like curriculums from people, but you can adapt that to everything else in a company, like policies and training material, you name it. That's why we try to use everything, because it gave Jarvis the strength it has to use it to answer your questions. And Jarvis answers in a sarcastic personality, so we try to incorporate that as well.
Yeah.
To get the feeling
Make
of
it
talking
more
with Jarvis. Yeah.
human, intelligent. Yeah, exactly. So now when it came to the process of like using Agent Workbench with RAG, how would this process be different from like a traditional development sense, you think? Like, is there more...
There is where OutSystems comes in, because OutSystems has always been this platform that helps us build applications really fast, and we have the control of everything. So here is the OutSystems always keeps up with the innovation, and here's is once again the proof of that. Now we can build agents. Now we can get into the world of vibe coding with OutSystems, as we saw. So everything is really exciting. So there you go. You can create agents with the knowledge of the data we already have inside our applications. We can also create applications. Like for this presentation, we used Mentor to create an application for this specific demo. So it's great.
Yeah, because I always feel like when you use traditional code, especially with something as complex and unique as this, it would still, even with AI, take weeks to build, right?
Yeah,
Whereas
it will take much longer.
Yeah.
Without systems, it was like just so quick, and we had time to work on other things. And I can say that the majority of problems and challenges we faced was not building the agents, because OutSystems helps you build them a lot faster than other platforms.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. So now, have you been able to integrate with like other projects using Agent Workbench or RAG, or you've mainly been focusing on Iron Man, Jarvis type projects?
No, actually, for our project, we integrate Jarvis with OutSystems applications that we have and asked it to do calculations. So imagine you're a project manager, you need to be quick you need to know updates about your projects, we actually integrated OutSystems applications into that, and Jarvis can fetch the data and answer you. So that's really cool, because with Workbench you have everything in one go. You have everything there. You just use the data grounding, and you can do calculations. So
Yeah.
we had the feeling we wanted to make it the realest as possible for like a real context.
Yeah, then you can actually use it in a business sense.
Yeah,
it's not like
exactly. That's what we aimed to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just like it's a passion project, but it's also something that has like a real business purpose to it. I think it's so interesting when you can combine like passion for a movie or like a technology and like combine it with something that actually benefits people in their
So
jobs.
make it fun.
Yeah,
Basically, make it fun. Like you're working in this, make your job fun. Basically.
Yeah, I think that honestly that is exactly why I wanted you guys and I want to talk to you guys is because it's cool to see you be able to take that passion and make it into something like this. And of course, I'm going to now, when I have a break, go run to your booth.
Yes.
I want to see this in
experiment Jarvis mask.
Yeah, see it for myself. But I know we're running out of time here, so we got a few seconds left. Do you have any parting thoughts on your work about Jarvis with our audience?
Yeah, I just can say AI is evolving so fast. Just take advantage of it. With the session we had from OutSystem, the keynote, everyone is going to have access to Workbench and ODC. So try for yourself. Think about a project, a personal project even, and how you can automate that, make it fun, learn about the platform, use the agents, and just make your life easier.
Yeah, exactly. So where can we find your work, maybe with Jarvis, or even just like passion, personal projects? Where can the audience find you guys?
Yeah, you can probably see by our shirts. We are from Moxie.
Yeah.
You can go to Moxie's booth and talk to us. We have a lot to offer. Our company is mainly focused on OutSystems. Our projects are OutSystems. We also give some expert services like assessments on security, performance. So yeah, come meet us and we'll see what we can do together.
Yeah, you can connect us with with our LinkedIn's. I try to post Medium posts. I'm going to try more when I have time about this, because I already wrote an article and I want to share them. And that's it. And in Moxie's website, of course.
Yeah. Anna, Tiago, it's been great having you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and for choosing us.
Yes, no, I'll talk to you guys soon. So for the audience, up next, we're going to have a chance, or you guys are going to have a chance to win some really cool swag with trivia. So stay tuned for that. All right, so here is our trivia session. Let me go to next slide. If you want to join our trivia, we're doing it all through Slido, so you do have to set up an account, just your name and email address, and you have the opportunity to win an OutSystems prize pack. So we have 5 questions for today. It's going to be all about AI. They're not crazy questions, so if you want to kind of research, feel free to do so. You're not going to have a lot of time to answer the questions, but it's definitely worth it. Now, there is a leaderboard, but the leader of the pack will not necessarily win a prize pack. That's just for bragging rights. But all participants who take place in this can actually have an opportunity to win this prize pack. So feel free to scan the QR code and feel free to join. Let's go ahead and kick this off. All right, so now joining is happening right now. I'll give you guys a few seconds to get in, maybe 20 to 30 seconds. There we go. I see Jared has joined. I think Johannes has joined. Maro, Rajit. Oh, we're getting a good group in here. Some people want to win this prize pack. It's worth it. Fran. And of course, if you guys are in the chat, feel free to talk about AI topics, or if you want to just kind of chat around a little bit. Here we go. Raphael. All right. Couple more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to jump into our first question. Here we go. So, which of the following types of AI involves creating new test images or other media? Is it predictive AI? Is it narrow AI? Is it reactive AI or generative AI? 15 seconds left. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, we're going ahead. 2, 1. There we go. Question is locked. The answer is generative AI with 94% coming in on that. Good job, guys. So, leaderboard. We have Rahul taking the lead. Let's jump to our next question. So, what type of AI is designed for specific tasks like facial recognition? Is it generative AI or general AI, narrow AI, super intelligent AI, or quantum AI? Oh, people are chiming in. It seems pretty split. It's jumping between general, going to narrow, super intelligent, quantum. We got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Question is done. The answer is narrow AI. So let's go ahead. Who's taking the lead here? Oh, Detlev. Looks like is coming in first. Let's go ahead and jump to the next question. So question 3, what is machine learning in AI? Is it programming rules step by step? Letting a computer learn patterns from data? Is it storing information on a hard drive? Or is it reading bedtime stories to your AI assistant? Let's get that question going. Oh, we got three votes. Letting computer learn patterns from data. Let's keep it going. 10 seconds left. Come on, you guys got to get that leaderboard. It's all for bragging rights. You get to tell your friends that you won on a podcast for OutSystems. Oh, everybody's chiming in. Oh, it is closed. Let's reveal the answer. The answer is letting a computer learn patterns from data. Go to our next one. Running out of time. Here we go. Which famous computer passed the Turing test in 2014, convincing some judges it was human? Mind you, passed this in quotes. Is it AlphaGo? Is it Siri? Is it Eugene Goostman? Or is it Watson? Oh, it seems pretty split on this one. All right, question is done. Let's reveal the answer. The answer is Eugene Goostman. Now, this one's a little debated because it kind of cheated, according to some experts. I'll let you read into the story of that because we're running short on time. We'll go to the last question here, which is question 5. Oh, actually, before we jump into that leaderboard, Jared is taking the lead. Next question. Which of the following is a real-world use of AI? Is it spam filtering, predicting weather patterns, self-driving cars, or all of the above? Oh, we got 15 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pretty unanimous. It was all of the above. And yes, all of the above is the right answer. So the final leader is Jared Wesley, which congratulations on the bragging rights. And of course, wonderful job, everyone. Let me jump to this next part. So we will pick winners out today and tomorrow's for entries in the exclusive prize packs. We'll be doing at least 2 of those per day, plus an extra chance to win that email that we talked about. Next up, we have Eliza back in the host chair, and she'll be joined by somebody in our community with their own podcast, Feroz, no pressure, and they'll be on after these 2 short videos. Thanks for joining me.
Hello, I'm Miguel, developer advocate at OutSystems, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can make the most out of your queries to build beautiful dashboards. Using pgadmin 4, we're going to explore a PostgreSQL database stored in AWS, and we're going to understand different things like distinct versus distinct on, generated series, common table expressions, and how to put all those tables in the same query, and other fun stuff. Furthermore, we're going to see how we can pick up all this and put it in OutSystems as use it in OutSystems. We're going to take advantage of the latest feature, the SQL queries for external entities. We're going to talk a little bit of data fabric. It's going to be very fun. Check the full video for the detailed tutorial. Thank you. Which is worse for you, daily scrums or XML files?
Daily scrums.
Daily scrums or supporting backwards compatibility?
Worst? Daily scrums.
Which is worse, daily scrums or writing documentation?
Writing documentation. That is definitely one of the worst things to do.
Okay, writing documentation or pushing to production on a Friday?
Pushing to production on a Friday, it's bad, but writing documentation.
Writing documentation or being on call?
Writing documentation.
Okay, finally, writing documentation or demoing to the CEO?
Writing documentation.
Okay, writing documentation is the worst.
For me, yes.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by a very special guest. But first, I should reintroduce myself because you haven't seen me in about 20 minutes, maybe longer. I was off getting a slice of cake from the catering. It was pretty good, but I am American, so I was expecting more sugar. I'm Eliza, the community manager for North America. Joining me now is Feroz. Welcome to this show. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm Feroz. I'm one of the co-founders of ITRAC. We're the only OutSystems recruitment company in the world, and training now. I've recently moved to the US, as you know, and our core business is helping customers build their own OutSystems teams.
Very nice, very nice. So yeah, you recently moved from the UK to Florida.
Yes.
Brave man, to spin up kind of the presence in the US. What's that change been like?
Yeah, it's been personally a lot of adoption and getting used to the American style of things, the way of talking and speaking and things like that. But on a business point, I feel like it's the place to be. If you want real success, you got to be there and drive it. And there's only so much you can do remotely.
Yeah,
so I felt now was the right time to do that, go there, collaborate with you guys as much as possible, and really try and create more awareness for low code.
Amazing. So since you're in Florida, are we going to see you at the One World Tour on November 19th?
Of course, yeah, I'll definitely be there trying to get more people interested to come.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't gone yet, if you're not booked in, you should definitely get your ticket.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun. November in Miami is ideal weather. I once went in October and the heat really got to me. So the sun, I got several sunburns. So I'm really excited to be in Miami in November. It's going to be a one-day event for developers and business people, sort of like one is, separate tracks for both. It's going to be fun. So ITRAC is doing a lot of exciting things around talent development. For OutSystems. And I just want to shout out to our US developers. We have a ton of US customers.
Yes.
And they're always looking for talent. So if you are thinking about using OutSystems for the first time and you're in the US, there's a very exciting labor market here for you.
Yes, definitely.
So could you share with the audience kind of how your work in the US is going?
Yeah, it's been, a big piece is the awareness side. I feel there's still a lot of developers that don't know about OutSystems.
Yeah.
They know the term. I think the term low code is getting a bit more better known.
Yes.
But OutSystems still needs a bit of catching up. But one thing that's been really great for us, which I've saved to announce for this, is we've signed a deal with the University in Michigan, Grand Valley State University.
Very cool.
For our OutSystems training. So from 2026, we hope to be growing the OutSystems community, in the partnership with GVSU, and creating more local developers and make them more aware of OutSystems, and hopefully then match them to clients who want US-based
Amazing.
talent. So yeah, that's the plan. That's what we're doing. We want to grow on that, and hopefully that will make more customers interested in OutSystems as well, because the talent shortage is always an issue for customers over there.
Yeah.
And I think if they can see there's a bigger talent pool, then that might encourage more to look at it. And then also traditional developers and even, people who have no tech background. It's a bit difficult for them, but I think for the right profile, it's possible.
Amazing. Well, we did have someone in the chat say they were tuning in from Michigan right when we
Okay.
started, which
Cool.
is very impressive because it's pretty early in the morning. So hopefully he's still there. Hello to whatever your name was. I already forgot. I'm so sorry. So that's really, really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to having more kind of engagement with universities. João, who I was talking to earlier, does speaking engagements with New York Institute of Technology, and it's really interesting to see what students are excited about on the platform. But yeah, that's awesome.
It's interesting because I've been contacting people to play around with the platform, and when I contact them and say OutSystems, they've got no clue.
Yeah.
And then I give them access to use ODC for a while, and then they come back asking me for a job. I'm so interested. Can you find me a job? But you need a bit more training around that.
Yes.
So we're hoping to kind of, collaborate and kind of help drive that, awareness side.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a similar experience going to some conferences in the US, doing a sponsor table and having a banner that says OutSystems. Everyone was like, "What are you?"
Yeah.
We exist. Look, we're gonna have one of our marketing team members on the stream a little later today. We can pester her with questions about how we're making that happen. It's just such a cool platform, though, and we need more people to know about it. So, you are a prolific podcaster. You release episodes about weekly on your podcast called Drag and Drop, about what's new in software development. If you had to pick just a couple episodes for people to see what it's all about, would you recommend them to
Well, obviously, the biggest one I've had is Paolo, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of one I thought would never happen. So I'm grateful that I got to do it. I think most people should listen to that, whether they're in the ecosystem or not. I think there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
I think rather than highlight, I think the type of episodes, I try and focus on different audiences. I think every guest has an audience, and, people from career switchers to people who have been from traditional to OutSystems.
Yeah.
But the end customer journeys are ones that are very downloaded a lot. People want to hear why customers chose OutSystems, what they've built, what they've learned. It's a real kind of, so the end customer ones, I always promote people to listen to, even developers. But even the ones when I interview people from OutSystems as well, they're great to hear what they're learning being on the field and what customers are saying, what misconceptions are out there, But Paolo would be the one I'd say is the big one. I've got another one coming up soon, but I don't want to say much about it.
Interesting. Okay, follow Feroz and ITRAC on
Yes.
LinkedIn so you can see who's coming up soon. That's awesome. And I'll also shout out my colleague Fred, who did an episode
Fred,
with you on security.
Yes.
Now, security is kind of a boring topic sometimes, but it was a really good episode, and he's a great speaker. So.
Yeah, and that was the thing when he does his own videos on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to him, the whole type of guest I tried to get is someone who's passionate, even if it's a boring topic.
Absolutely.
If they're passionate about it, and Fred did great in promoting security, and his episode did really well, so that was really good.
Amazing. I'm glad. What excites you about the landscape of low code and AI right now?
I think it's just how things are moving so fast. Things are changing so quickly that even the platform has to continue evolving. Developers have to evolve. I think the way things are moving, it's one of those things that if you don't jump on the train, you're going to miss the train, right? It's kind of, you've got to be keeping with the times, really kind of taking your skill set to the next level. And if you don't, I think the old school style of working is definitely going to be out the door soon, so it's exciting. I think it's still scary for a lot of people, with the uncertainty around what's going, a lot of skill sets are worried about their jobs and things like that. But I think all in all, like even just from what we saw this morning, it's so much excitement around it. Everyone's buzzing after the first keynotes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you made a post recently on LinkedIn about how AI is just another tool to add to your tool belt. If you know it well, you're going to be better positioned. Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you give software developers early in their career to prepare themselves for the kind of future of what's coming?
Yeah, I think it's very much around, in my experience, the technical skill is always great. But I think with all the AI coming into the mix and the help they can get, I think, in my opinion, the soft skills is actually more important now. I think because there's so much going on with AI isn't going to make you a better personality and make you have the better soft skills. So I think they're the things that will help you be a more rounded developer. And while we speak to a lot of customers on the hiring side, with AI coming in, when they're hiring people, they're not just looking at the technical bullet points on, there's so much more involved. And I think with junior people, especially with the world going remote, and I think the whole 5-day working personality has changed, where we're used to interacting every day face to face. The younger generation aren't really, they're used to partying day to day, but not really like on day to day. So I think that's a skill that's really needed, I think, to kind of make sure you stand out, because even though the badges are great, I think that there's a lot more that's needed.
Two things for the chat. I did see it was Jared from Michigan.
Jared actually is the one who's helped us get
Okay, well,
GVSU.
that's why you're watching then.
Yes.
Thank you for joining,
Yes,
Jared.
Jared's partnering with us to get GVSU. So shout out to Jared.
Maro, I'm not going to pronounce her last name, on YouTube is asking about One World Tour Miami. Yes, it is. The event is for both developers and business. We're going to have 2 different tracks. Woodson is going to be there, our new CEO, to give the keynote. And we have some cool talks from our professional experts at OutSystems, and we have some cool customer use cases to share. And it's going to be a great opportunity to network and maybe have fun in Miami. Maybe get a Cuban sandwich. I don't know. All right. So last but not least, I'm asking a lot of guests this question. We had one in Amsterdam last year that you brought your entire team to. One in Lisbon this year that your entire team begged to come to. Which city wins out for you?
I'm going to annoy a lot of people here, but for me, it's Lisbon. I think just because it's the home of OutSystems. Obviously, both countries have big developer communities, but I think just the vibe here is different. You know, and I think being the country of OutSystems, more people will kind of come to the conference. I think obviously this one with the whole change in leadership as well needed to happen here. You know, so everyone, you know, even with my own team, you know, I wanted them to experience this moment, so that's why they got a last minute ticket to come over. But yeah, for me, Lisbon wins.
Very nice, very nice. Are you doing anything fun with them while they're all here?
We're trying to make the most of having our customers in the one location now that I've moved away. And I haven't seen my own team in 6 months, so trying to kind of just catch up with them as well.
Yeah. I was looking for you earlier, and I spotted your team first, and I was like, oh, he must be over there. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Feroz. It's been great talking to you again. Up next, I have a slide to show you that's a total lie, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, so stay tuned.
Great.
me now is Andy Pemberton. I'm just kidding. It's not Andy at all. It's my colleague Snay. So Andy is at a lunch for VIP customers. So the CEOs of our bigger customers have flown over to hang out with him. And you're not going to believe this. The Portuguese restaurant was a little behind in serving food, so
snap, surprise.
Yeah. So instead, I have Snay with me. She leads our community team focused on growth, and she's running the Devs Give Back booth, which I mentioned earlier in the stream. And to prepare you all, I don't have a single question for her because she got roped into this about 10 minutes ago.
Yay! We love this.
Snay, would you take a minute to introduce yourself?
Of course. So as Eliza said, I'm Snay and I'm leading the community growth, but I'm very much passionate about social impact. So I try to do something good to give back to the community with whatever we are doing. So here at one conference, we have Devs Give Back booth, which is dedicated to nonprofits and also our amazing developers who are supporting them. We had this morning Woodson and Paulo Rosado visiting them, and they were just spent like half an hour chatting, and he was saying, I have to meet you next time when I'm in Lisbon. And it's just amazing because I think that we as a company have that in our DNA, that it's very important to give back. It's very important. We know we are privileged, so we want to help those who are, who are in need, and we can do best that with our technology. So that's what we are doing. And that's not my presentation. It's what I'm passionate about. But there you go.
Very nice. Well done. Okay, so I am going to talk a little bit with Woodson about this. It was funny when he was announced as CEO. It was about 24 hours after everyone at the company noticed. If you search CEO on the company Slack, there's a different name attached to that. And we were like, hang on, what's happening? And so we all scrambled to do all this research on him. And he actually took a career break a few years ago to volunteer with asylum seekers on the border in the U.S., which I think made most of our team really excited because we are so involved with giving back. So can you talk a little bit about Woodson and his commitment to the nonprofits?
Definitely. That's one of the things that you're right. When we went all to his LinkedIn to check, the first thing I saw was, wow, he's actually doing a lot of volunteering work. And that made us happy, me especially, because I was like, okay, so we finally have like really good sponsor for doing that. And also this conference, he really wanted to have a nonprofit associated with the conference. So that's why we did all the great work with Teach for Portugal.
Yeah.
And we announced it in the keynote. But it's also one of the things he wants to do, to have kind of a that social impact part where we support one nonprofit, we do things with them, we have a donation set up for them, we are going to match the donation that are collected at one, plus we are helping them build their recruitment and onboarding application for their mentors and professors. So I think that really shows that he's passionate and, that we're probably going to do more of this. Well, at least that's my hope.
That's awesome. Can you talk a little bit about the Build for the Future hackathon, how that functions? I'm sure a lot of people in the chat are familiar, and we talked earlier about that everyone got access to Workbench early.
Yeah.
Let them know.
So every year, this is fourth year we did a Build for the Future hackathon, and every year I say it's going to be the biggest, and it's always the biggest. And this year I was a bit skeptical. I was like, well, last year we had 72 teams. I don't think we are going to do. And Friday, or like 2 days before we closed the registration, there were 18 teams registered.
Wow.
In 3 days, we were at 84, and I was like,
whoa, a little bit of stress there, but you got there.
I was like, okay, that's not bad. I mean, we are happy for that, but a lot of logistics involved. So the idea was we give access to the Workbench, Agent Workbench, and the new mobile UI that are still in the early access program to the people who want to build applications for nonprofit. 84 teams. They work for 7 days. They supported some very amazing nonprofits. They created really, really cool use cases. And we have top 10 actually listed right here beside this cubicle. And tomorrow we are going to announce the winner. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
How long of a timeline did they have to build the apps?
So they have 7 days, and we do that. It's not common for hackathons to last so long, right? But considering that everything is happening remotely, people have their full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure they have time to build something meaningful, right? We want this app to actually be used by nonprofits. So that's why we want it to be good. And in 7 days, they can build pretty complex and good applications. And that's what
Amazing.
usually happens.
Okay. Amazing. I'm going to give you a moment now to take a picture while we're live on air. So feel free to take a picture.
I wanted to ask Sahiba to take a picture from there. But
Okay.
No. Let's take a selfie.
Yeah, let's take a selfie.
Yes, we are doing this.
Awesome. I'm sure I looked okay in one of those. If you all want to take screenshots of Sneh and send them to her later, you can do so too.
Yes.
All right. So last question. How many conferences have you been to now?
Fun fact, my first day at OutSystem was during one of the conferences.
Oh, no.
So I joined OutSystems, and the next day they sent me to the conference. And I got responsible for a small students hackathon we have on the side. It's all aligning.
Yeah.
So I think this is my 7th. Yeah, because I've been 7 years here, and I actually it's very dear to me because, like I said, I started at the conference, so with the community. So
Easy to mark your anniversaries then, huh?
Whenever, it's 7 years now in November.
So how does this conference compare to others then?
Well, I think it's huge. We have 3,200 people, I think, last number I heard. That's just amazing. I mean, the space is also very big, so it doesn't seem there is so many people, but it is. The production is amazing. Everything is like more mature. Everything looks cool. We all feel at home. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, the vibe is the same. The community is the same. We have amazing things. It's just I think we're growing. It's getting more mature and also more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It is more fun. I think what's nice about Lisbon is we have a lot of the same people coming back year after year. A lot of them also went to Amsterdam last year, but lots of familiar faces. It's nice to catch up with everyone.
Yeah, it's super nice. We just keep going, oh, look at that guy, look at that girl, and everything. So it's really, really nice. And then we have to do a lot of work because we're just talking to people.
Yeah, exactly. I try to rest between my segments on the podcast, and I just go right out and have chats with other people. It's impossible.
Even when you go to toilet, there is someone, you know.
Well, Sneh, thank you so much.
Thank you
for being our
having
little
me.
pinch hitter that's a baseball reference for anyone that doesn't know, on the podcast today. We have a global audience. I don't know. I know India knows. We had a great time chatting with you. Up next, I have, as promised, a woman from our marketing team. So stay tuned through this next segment. Welcome back, everyone. I am joined now by Amanda Jerome from our marketing department. Amanda, would you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for including me. My name's Amanda Jerome. I'm our director of brand content, and I lead a team of really amazing brand creatives and social media professionals, and they're the ones behind the scenes doing all of the work, touching all of the things that you're seeing here today, from the stage design to the swag to the video content and all of the communications you're receiving. So I'm just very excited to share all of that experience with my team. I've been with OutSystems for about a year and a half, and events like this just keep me going and give me so much energy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really exciting to see everyone in person. Yeah. So it's your first time appearing on Decoded, but not your first time at a One conference, correct?
Yeah, that's right. This is my second one. I got to join last year just in time for one. So
nice.
Yeah,
yeah, the whole marketing team was here last year.
Yeah.
They had everyone in the leadership teams come over for one. It was really nice because a bunch of the marketing team didn't have a lot of awareness of the DevRel team, but they got to meet so many developers, which was
I really loved
cool.
it. And not to mention all of the different fun networking things we did.
Yeah.
It was great, from the cooking classes and other fun meetups. So it was great that everyone was able to get together last year. And there's still a big group of us this year. So love being able to connect face to face.
Yeah, thank goodness there's a big group of them last year, because just a little bit of the inside baseball here. You might see in the event descriptions, Amanda is a late addition. She was added yesterday because we had a conflict with someone being on stage at the same time as their appearance time. So thank you for jumping in.
Of course, I'm so happy to hop in. I'm glad I was able to jump in. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Could you tell the audience at home what the experience is like at the conference this year?
The experience has been amazing. There's so much energy out there. We have amazing speakers. I'm personally excited about our new Neo suit. That was one of the big projects that I was working on. So it's really fun walking around with Neo and seeing all of our customers and partners just get excited and want to take photos. So that's been really great, and it's so energizing. Something about the conference that I really love is being able to step away from my laptop and actually meet with customers, meet with partners, meet with developers. Again, since I'm on that brand team, I don't always get to talk to customers face to face, developers, and there's just something so compelling about the community. The event really feels more like a reunion versus a conference. Yes. So it's just been so great. The vibes are high.
Yeah. Yesterday the vibes were stressed as we were all preparing. Yeah. But now everyone's in the building. The vibes are high. Yeah. Absolutely. I'd love to know more about this new Neo suit. We may see the new Neo suit on the stream at some point, but I'm not certain. So can you tell us about it?
I can probably help make that happen. So for folks who've known OutSystems for a long time, you may have noticed that Neo, as we represent Neo, has changed in appearance just over the years. He's a little bit more modern, a little bit more trim, buff. And we realized that our former suit, didn't really reflect a lot of the visionary qualities that we wanted to. So worked with a local vendor here in Portugal called Jack the Maker. And it's been a really fun project to talk with them about how to bring all of the newer illustrations to life in a cool wearable suit.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like the characters at Disneyland, or I don't know, something where folks just get really excited. So that's been a really fun project.
Yeah, it's really cool. This, not only Neo has changed, but this year has brought us a lot of huge changes in OutSystems, including a new CEO. And now we've just made a ton of announcements during the keynote. What sort of kept your energy up all through this year?
I know, so much change, right? In 2025, so much change. It's all been really great, amazing change. I think when companies don't have change, it kind of begs the question why. What's kind of missing. To me, the energy has been up and high. You mentioned all of the product announcements, everything related to Agent Workbench is just at the cusp, and where our customers are truly starting to see value. We heard the amazing stories from the EAP throughout the keynote this morning. That was really fantastic. And that keeps me going. I'm excited to see more what we see from our customer base using our products. And thinking about the other broader changes, Woodson coming in has brought in a newer energy to the company, and I'm really excited to continue to see how everything evolves.
Absolutely, yeah. So speaking of Woodson, Logan and I got to interview him a couple of weeks ago, and we were so impressed. Sneh and I were just talking about him a lot too, his commitment to giving back. What do you think of our new CEO? What are you seeing from him?
I too am very impressed. He's got amazing experience coming from Salesforce, and the things that really stick out to me the most are his clarity of vision and his obsession around customer success, and really wanting to highlight customers and show the value and really prioritize all of the efforts, right? And it's not to say that we weren't doing those things previously, but Woodson is really like laser focused on those elements, and I love that clarity. I love the transparency around everything. It kind of, it keeps us going. It makes us all be on the same page, which is really fantastic.
Yeah, Vivek was talking about the keynote earlier and how he helped design it and everything, and the fact that Woodson insisted we bring customers on stage to do live demos, not just the boring old OutSystems employees. So sorry about the podcast. But yeah, it's very cool. And also, I just want to shout out Woodson for not only doing that, but also giving the employees a chance to have a sneak peek and then opening up a line of communication to give feedback.
Yeah.
And he implemented those changes that we gave feedback about.
That
which is so cool.
That was really, really cool, and something that I don't think OutSystems has ever done, where about a week ago before this event, the keynote, Woodson and team presented everything. And just like you said, it was opened up to everybody. There was a Slack group. People were firing off all the comments. And that's been something that really reinforced what Woodson said when he first introduced himself to all of us, right? That he wants to build a culture of trust and transparency. And to me, that was like a perfect example of that.
Yeah. So if you all at home have feedback for the company, it sounds like it does reach Woodson almost instantly, because he's getting feedback from us all the time. So it's really exciting.
Absolutely.
Logan and I are both on the developer relations side of the marketing team. You sit, of course, in corporate marketing. Can we talk a little bit about messaging and brand and how that is shifting?
Yeah. I love the inside baseball question, right? And even though we're all on the marketing team, I know there are moments in time when we really get to collaborate and work together closely. And then there are other moments, other projects that kind of keep us a little bit further apart. So with all of the new changes and messaging positioning, we are releasing a brand campaign today that's starting to go live for folks who traveled into Lisbon and are traveling into Lisbon this week. We have some really great out-of-home advertisements in the airport. And the messaging is all about, of course, our core foundation of AI-powered low-code shaping the enterprise applications that our customers need and having that trust and security and stability. But we're really trying to keep up with the pace of the market. The market is moving so fast with AI, and we're really leaning into that and wanting to be more visionary, wanting to make sure we're elevating all of the great, amazing stories from our customers. So I hope people kind of see that and feel that. We really want to put customers forward, and in all of the stuff that you'll see coming from OutSystems is really doing that, showcasing customer stories.
To stay on that track a little bit, you oversee the video team, correct?
Yes, I do.
The creatives, and a lot of the creatives work is involved in this stream. If you see that beautiful background to our slides, one of them made it, and it's beautiful, and I love it. I did have to take on a lot of the design work, so if the slides are ugly, it's not their fault. But I did my best. I had to take on a lot of the design work because they've created so much for this conference. Bruno yesterday was still working on the slides in Figma for the keynote, and he was explaining to me the feeling he needed to get across with an animation, and I was
it's amazing how his mind works and how he's able to take all of the requests from everybody and just get it done. It's really fun to watch, and I love managing that team. I love being around creative people. Like, that's another thing that kind of gets me going and gets my energy going. I'd love to be able to do the work that they do, but I can't. I don't have that skill set, so I really love watching them shine. And this event in particular is one of those moments where, again, it's all the touch points, everything that we're seeing outside, on the show floor, on the keynote stage, everything is there. They have their hands in it, and it's really great. It's exciting to see.
Yeah. We just zoomed out so people can see
Oh
the space
yeah,
behind
see
us.
all the good
It
stuff.
looks a little empty right now because sessions are
have
beginning.
started. Yeah, sessions have started.
Lunch is over. There's no more chocolate cake to be had. Did you enjoy any of the lunch?
Yeah, it was good. I thought
it was good. It's exciting when the conference lunch embraces the local cuisine a little bit.
I think so too. It's nice to get the taste of everything.
Yeah, exactly. So One Miami, which I've mentioned so many times on the stream, but I'm going to keep mentioning because I want you all to go. It's a little over 6 weeks away. I'd love to hear what you're kind of looking forward to.
It's right around the corner. I
It
can't
is.
believe it's 6 weeks. That's going to go by fast. I'm really, really excited. I know it's been a few years since we've done an event like this in North America and in the US in particular. So it's going to be great to bring all of this energy there especially with the community members who didn't want to travel out to Lisbon this week, right? So I'm super excited for that. I'm excited to meet more customers, partners, colleagues, and kind of keep the energy going and keep the community going.
All right, this might be a disappointing answer to this question, but I just wanted to check. Is Neo going to make an appearance on the One
To
World
be
Tour?
determined. I know there's been a lot of requests for Neo at One Miami. We're going to try to make it work.
Okay, we'll make sure to, if we see him walking around.
No guarantees,
promises.
right? No promises. Don't.
If you want him there, though, reach out to Amanda on
Let me
LinkedIn. So just a little anecdote of my background. I used to work at Microsoft, and we, of course, had a long-standing mascot. You may all know him, named Clippy.
Clippy!
And the way Clippy transited around the world was they would buy him a first-class seat on an airplane, which is wild to me.
That's amazing.
I think Neo can survive the cargo hold, though. I think he'll be.
We'll see. I know our vendor's making us a really great travel case to be able to handle this type of stuff. But I'm sure Neo would also love a first class ticket.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not making any promises.
Well, if he ever does make a journey abroad,
Yeah.
something to keep in mind. He is a spaceman, so maybe he could just fly.
Space travel.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
some sort of new space shuttle that we have in Lisbon that goes to Miami. No problem. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me for Decoded Live.
Of course.
It was
Thank you,
great
Eliza.
chatting.
This was fun. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, I will let you get back to the tons of work you have at the conference. But next, we're going to have Logan back in the host chair, joined by a leader in the product team, right after these short videos.
Which is worse, daily scrums or XML files?
XML files.
XML files or supporting backwards compatibility?
Supporting backwards compatibility.
Yeah, it's very hard. Which is worse, supporting backwards compatibility or writing documentation? Same, but different.
I would say supporting backwards compatibility.
Okay. Supporting backwards compatibility or pushing to production on a Friday?
Pushing to production on a Friday.
Okay. Pushing to production on a Friday or being on call?
I've never been on call. I can imagine that being on call might be better than pushing to production on a Friday.
Pushing to production on a Friday or doing a demo for the CEO?
Pushing to production to a Friday.
Okay, so pushing to production on a Friday is the worst.
Is the worst, yes.
Okay.
I had one, a very funny one, and that time it wasn't that funny. I was developing a process, and inside that process I had a while. Someone told me make sure that it doesn't fail because it could generate an infinite cycle. Yeah. I put a safeguard. I run the test. Okay, so it went good. I was like very confident of it. And after that, I start hearing the other members of the team. So the server is getting very slow. Oh, I can't publish. So it started the infinite cycle. And that while I forgot to increment the safeguard. We needed to restart the machine, the server. And the first time I published and tested again, I was like sweating a lot. But it worked the second time, yeah.
Hello, welcome back to Decoded Live here at Lisbon. My name is Logan Braid. I'm a developer advocate here at OutSystems. I am joined for our next session with Anabela. Anabela, welcome to the show. Could you please maybe introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are?
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Anabela Cesario. I'm currently VP of Product and Engineering Operations, and I have been at OutSystems since 2016, almost 10 years. Yeah. Always in product and engineering functions.
Oh, so you've been like in the trenches for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I love it, I must say.
That's crazy. So now that you've been with the company for that long, how many conferences have you actually seen in person?
Oh my God, I saw all of them. I would say that probably 7, 8. I don't know the number by heart because the COVID.
They probably start blending together after a certain point.
Yeah. I participate on the planning on all of those.
Wow, that's incredible. So how's the conference actually changed over the last 10 years?
Oh, we have so many. I can tell you about my first experience. It was when we launched OutSystems 10, the mobile edition. It was in CCB, and for me I had been at the company for, I think, 2 months.
Yeah.
And everything was crazy, all the preparations, but then in the day, everything worked well, so I was really amazed. And I remember about Odyssey launch, also last year Mentor, and this year, of course, Agent
Workbench, yeah.
Of course.
When I feel like so much, even like I haven't been at OutSystems that long compared to a lot of people who work at OutSystems, and the things that have changed in the last 10 years, especially around engineering and product, has been unreal. Like it's so crazy to see how fast things are accelerating, especially with like AI and how, that's all come about really within the last like 2 years.
Yeah.
But as the company is kind of like leading into this new wave of AI application development, how are you using AI to create new products and maybe streamline your own product creation process?
Okay, so what we did, we launched an internal program that we called AI at Product that is working mainly in 3 work streams, goals.
Yeah.
The first one, we call it AI Progressive Innovation. So what we are doing is we are looking at the full product development life cycle and infusing some AI in all of the stages.
Yeah.
And then we are also working on one that we are calling AI native disruption.
Oh,
so
AI native
we are
disruption.
kind
Okay.
of in a lab with the team without any constraints, redesigning the way we do product. And the third one is also very interesting, is how we will support people to navigate all of this uncertainty around the AI, mainly to upskill and reskill people. So
it kind of sounds like, and you can totally correct me if I'm wrong on this, it sounds like you guys kind of get free reign to like really kick the tires of AI and figure out like, how is it going to be implemented? What are we going to do with it?
Yeah, I'm really excited with the continuous innovation, but especially about the disruption. So
Yeah.
I think, wait some news in the following months, because we will announce and share all the learnings with the community.
So a lot of things under wraps we can't talk about.
Yes,
Okay,
for now,
okay.
but we will share soon.
Okay, well, there's only like maybe there's me and maybe a few dozen other people. We'll keep it quiet. We won't tell anybody. But so we basically heard kind of through the grapevine that OutSystems is using AI internally to boost team productivity. From your perspective, where in the product development lifecycle do you see AI having the biggest impact when it comes to optimizing your productivity?
Okay, if I look at the more continuous improvement side, the AI progressive innovation, I see it more assisting developers on coding, also the test development, all the test parts, release. I think I'm seeing it across the product development lifecycle.
Yeah.
But what excites me most is the native. Native, it's a world that we can define. So I'm really excited, and I don't see it on a specific stage. I see it innovate throughout the product development lifecycle.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's crazy because like when I started my career 10 years ago, we were talking about CI/CD and how everything was going to change with the way we release software, and now just how AI is changing even that conversation is honestly it's crazy how that's working out.
It is.
Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you was the integration of AI into product development is still relatively new for the market. How is OutSystems approaching this?
We have that initiative, like I told, with the IAT product, with those work streams. On a day-to-day, we are using and eating our own dog food. We are
Dog
mainly
fooding.
dog fooding. We are using agents. We are everything we are doing operations and throughout the product development life cycle. We are all investing heavy on agents, using agent workbench to optimize the way we do product.
Yeah. So now I want to cycle back a little bit because we talked a little bit on the strategy of continuous improvement, the whole CI component. So do you have, that you can share, do you have more disruptive initiatives planned for how AI can be integrated into your product processes?
I have, but I cannot disclosure for now. I will do it.
Okay. Community, you got to hold her to it. We will give more information on that later.
Yeah.
But maybe putting AI aside for a moment, OutSystems has become a leader in the practice of product operations, thanks in no small part to the work that you are doing and your team is doing. What's the team's next big move to innovate in this space?
AI adoption, even internally. So I think that we cannot longer separate operations from AI. So everything that we need to do is to infuse AI. And I see it mainly as my top priority is the native disruption, create the full native product development lifecycle. Also currently, as we are doing, using agents to optimize our workflows. And the third one that is really important is supporting team surface all of these AI uncertainty. This has been really hard for people because your job is changing, everything is changing, and you love it, but how can you on a personal level navigate that? So it's also something that I believe that an operations area should do and has an important role on that.
And I just feel like even from like when I do development, the way that I have done development, my entire career has fundamentally changed within the scope of 6 months.
But not only that, the product management role, all the roles in the product development life cycle will be augmented by AI, and you need to deal with that. Of course, taking advantage, but also you need to learn how to leverage AI to grow your career. You cannot no longer refuse it, right?
Yeah.
It's here to stay. I heard something about PM, but that applies to everyone. That is, a person that uses AI will survive. A person that doesn't use AI will not have place in this new AI world. So operations can help as well with that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that thought process, it makes a ton of sense because like as a developer, for the last 10 years, you could turn around and be like, okay, there's a new framework that came out. I don't need to learn this new framework. I'm comfortable with the framework that I'm using now. I can do all the things that I needed to do. And there's always these kind of like shifts that would happen where you'd be like, I don't really need to pay attention to it. But now there's like the industry-wide
complete.
I feel like this is going to be one of those industry-wide shifts where we're not going to be going back from it. Yeah.
Agree.
It's pretty much, it's here to stay. Cat's out of the bag, and it's going to be for a while. So I know previously you kind of talked about dog fooding. So I was wondering how we use our own products internally. Can you share how OutSystems' own development teams are leveraging a platform itself for crucial tasks like code generation, documentation, testing?
I would prefer not sharing this project now. I think that let's wait for Christmas and
end of the year.
End of the year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely be on the lookout for that. And so I know we still have like a few minutes here. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the conference so far. Are you getting a chance to maybe check out any of the talks or getting to any?
Yeah.
Okay. Which do you have any plan or do you have any talks that you're going to be going to that you're really excited for?
One is running now. I need to see the recording.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm really interested on Pedro Girão and Gonçalo Borrega talks. But speaking about the morning, I really love the pre-show with Baltazar. It was really good to warm up people, and then the keynote was really good. I like the presenters. I like the script. It was really good. I think the message was communicated in a very simple way. I have been receiving a lot of good feedback about it.
Yeah.
And also the energy, you feel the energy in the room. So I'm loving
it feels like we've been doing a really big push in the last like 6 months to a year where we're like, we want to engage the community. We really want to make sure that when people come not only to our events, but even like see us on YouTube and live streams and anything like that, that they're getting the most out of it and knowing like we're enthusiastic about not only our products, but showing off how to use it in really interesting ways. Have you yourself been able to do any like interesting projects that you want to share, like maybe any personal projects or
with
OutSystems or just anything in general?
Oh, I like to play with the Mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like to play with Mentor and Agent. So are the ones that, because also they are more related with the AI at product that I'm leading now, are the ones that I like to play.
Can you maybe expand on that project that you did? Like, even if it's a personal passion project, I think like your developers just want to hear, like, okay, what's some cool stuff that you've been working on?
Oh, let me see. I can give you a very simple example how we start with the agents. Currently, we have a big team, product and engineering team. So we are optimizing all the reporting, all that boring stuff that we have the information on Jira and also on product board. So we are optimizing and creating the reports automatically. And now the next move is to work on capacity management and automatize that because we have some dependencies and we really want to expedite that. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, now to kind of go back to our initial conversation, this is going to be a tough one for a close, but with all of these OutSystem conferences that you've attended over the years, what were some of the highlights over the years? And if you could pick one thing so far that's happened, what's kind of like been the highlight of today?
Okay, the ones I already spoke about. The first one, First Love. I was really amazed by that. Odyssey, Mentor, and this year Agent. I think this year I like two for different reasons. The unification was super.
Oh my gosh, unification is incredible.
If I put myself on the customer's shoes, I think the unification it's really important for them.
Yeah.
And to create a smoother experience. And the second one, because it's AI, it's innovation, is the agent workbench.
I think kind of to cycle back about like the customer unification part, I think what was amazing about that actually I think was born out of user feedback more than anything, right? Like we heard from our users that, little history, we were talking about splitting platforms, doing all that stuff, and it honestly wasn't necessarily received in the way that we thought it would be. And we ended up getting a lot of responses, and we came back and we're like, okay, no, this is not the direction we want to go. We want to make sure that unification is a part of our core plan. And I felt like we were really reactive to
we receive a lot of feedback from the developers community, but also from customers.
Yeah.
And we really consider it and we came up with a solution. I hope the community likes it and it really helps your life and simplify it every day.
Well, I do know we got like several people in the chat right now. I don't know exactly how many people are watching, but like developers, I think it's important to put out there that we respond to your feedback. So when you guys give us feedback, that all gets put somewhere, and we actually do listen to that when you bring it up. So keep telling us stuff to work on, things that you want to see, and like we want to be able to help incorporate that into like future products and workflows and all that stuff. But anyways, Anabela, it's been great having you on. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Up next, I have Nuno and Alexandre joining me, so be sure to stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hello and welcome back to the Decoded Live podcast. I am joined here by Nuno and Alexandre, and I want to point this out. Earlier in the live stream, I mentioned that I have the opportunity and the privilege to talk to some really cool people doing some really cool stuff, some innovators in the field, working on amazing projects. And these guys were number one on my list to interview. No joke. And I just wanted to throw that out there because you guys have inspired me a ton with the projects that you've worked on. Like, I've read some of your materials and stuff, and even like some of the videos on our YouTube channel were actually born out of the ideas that you did write-ups about.
Okay.
So I know I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, but
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what you guys are working on, and I want to dive right into it. But before we do, maybe let's go ahead and do a little bit of introductions, talk about yourselves, tell the audience about who you are and what you do.
Okay, so probably going to start. My name is Nuno Rolo, as you mentioned, and I've been working with OutSystems since 2011, so a few years already.
Just a couple of years.
Yeah, just a couple of years. I've been also OutSystems MVP since the beginning of this program, and currently I'm working at NTT Data Portugal as an evangelist / architect, although I don't like too many the word evangelist. It makes me remember of sales guy, and
yeah.
I'm not a sales guy, I'm more a tech guy.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alexandre. I've been with OutSystems since 2019. I'm an OutSystems champion as well. And I've worked with traditional, with reactive, and also with ODC along my years.
Yeah, so you guys both have a little bit of experience with the platform. You've been using it for a little bit. So you guys are also speakers. You have your own set session that you're going to be talking about. And this is what I really want to get into. Can you tell us the name of your session and what the session is about?
Okay, so the name of the session is Unlocking 3D Magic, a fusion between 3GS and OutSystems. And the main idea is that we built a component that is currently on Forge to bring 3GS framework inside OutSystems. So 3GS framework is a very popular framework. Use it to 3D graphics, virtual reality, and so on. So, yeah.
It's pretty much like a huge core component of anything we do with like WebXR, AR, VR,
Exactly.
game design even.
Everything in JavaScript, and then we just brought this into OutSystems.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy what you can do with 3JS in JavaScript, and especially in like a low-code setup. But I know me myself, like I was telling you earlier, I'm a huge fan of 3JS and using it in my own little projects. I actually have a video on the OutSystems YouTube channel where I show off how to use 3JS and get like a little Neo animation to play on a marker. And like I said, one of your write-ups was hugely inspiring to me to be able to create that video and make those components work. But it kind of begs the question, I learned from you to be able to create that video. How did you learn how to use it in an OutSystems project?
Well, it all started from a class, a university that I was frequenting at the time, computers graphic, and that was the framework that they were using, 3GS. And probably you are using this to do cooler stuff than me. So at the time, the things that I did in 3GS were mainly squares, rotating, and all the planes. So a lot of computer graphic theory and not so cool stuff as we see in video games and stuff like that. So that was the idea. And then, of course, that's something that I always have is, here's the cool stuff. Can I do this in OutSystems? It's always my question. Always. Can I bring this to OutSystems? Can I do this in OutSystems? Sometimes I found projects that are easier and that's it. Okay, it's done. Let's go. This one was challenging. So that's why I bring it to OutSystems. I try to do this, and I would say that probably you did cooler stuff because the framework is there, and then it's creativity, and I don't have that creativity. Okay.
But and here's the thing. I think there's kind of a perception in the world that like low code can't do certain things, right? And so I think when it goes back to, can I do this in OutSystems? It's, can I break the boundary that I'm hitting and do something that's like truly, either innovative or creative and show people like, hey, we can actually do this. And, I feel like the 3JS topic is the first thing of, I'm going to kick the tires of this, and I'm going to show you what I can like really do with it. So now to kind of go back, like, what inspired you to do it in low code, like at the get-go? Like, how did that kind of formulate and come to be?
It was a little bit what I mentioned. So I was doing a parallel study in computers graphic, more generic terms, and I've been working with OutSystems since forever. It's been my professional work since 2011, and of course, bring this into the place that I work and see, as you mentioned, the boundaries. So it's not common to see projects using such powerful graphics and such things in OutSystems, in web applications. So that was the main idea. Can I bring this? Can I start doing these things? Because we are kind of stuck with the typical animations that OutSystems UI provides. And they are cool. They are fine, but they are very enterprise oriented. So the common thing that we hear is that if you want to build a game or if you want to do some stuff, you don't use OutSystems, you choose a different platform. So that was the challenge, and that was the thing that, okay, let me bring this and let me try to simplify the framework itself, because it's a complex framework. There's a lot of things, a lot of properties, and let's try to bring this and simplify it as much as possible. So that was the main idea.
I feel like there probably wasn't a lot of education around it at the time, right? Or at least it wasn't maybe as well documented as certain other things that might be documented in OutSystems, right? Or was it actually fairly well documented? More or less.
Yeah, there were some engineering stuff that we need to go, but I didn't have, at least for now, the component is not fully encapsulating the entire framework. The framework is huge,
massive.
So and currently there's the virtual reality and so on is not even available yet. But we didn't break any weird boundary for now in OutSystems. So it's mainly some challenges that we are going to talk in the session for tomorrow. So
well, that's your cue to go check it out. If you're here at the conference, go check out their session. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool.
Hope so. Hope everything goes good.
Now, you kind of talked about the first project that you did, like in university with 3JS and like figuring out with OutSystems. I kind of want to learn about the progression of apps that you developed, or even if it's like experimental, just playing around. Like, what was maybe like the second app or third app that you created using like 3JS, and like, or even maybe the latest one that you're working on for fun?
Yeah, this has been mainly a free time project. Okay, so this has not been, and at least that I know, not for us, not from our part. There's no production application with this. Currently, okay, so
experimental.
It's been just experimental. So most of the things was I replicated all the projects that I did for class in the university. So all the projects that were done there, most of them were games and things like that. But simple games like board games where you put some things and cut plans, clipping plans when clicking, and so a lot of theory in terms of computers graphics. So most of the projects were with that. Then I tried to replicate some of the projects that are available in the 3GS website. So there are a lot of things there, and most of them were. The idea was try to mimicate some of them. We have the robot; it's already done. Also, a city that is playing the robot. You can play with him. It's jump, it smiles, it waves.
Really? That's crazy. Now that kind of reminds me of like with your blog post, inspired me to like do my own projects. Like your blog post showed off like, oh, this is how you do like the simple stuff, right? Like adding a sphere, adding a cube, and then it helped me like. Inspired me to like actually see, can I extend this and use A-frame in my project with 3JS? And like obviously like A-frame is a little bit of it's on top of 3JS, but it helped me like actually start incorporating Blender into my projects and use actual Blender animations and models and be able to create it. And it's so cool, that escalation of how things like roll up to do that. Now, if you could create any OutSystems or 3JS project, what would you create? Like, if you could just run wild, you had an infinite amount of time, energy, and money, you didn't have to sleep.
I don't know. There's one project that were done that our company did in combination with other technology at the time that was related with augmented reality. So probably that would be one of the projects I would like to redo it, because at the time the only thing that we did was mainly the back office in OutSystems.
Yeah.
Then we had the specific different technology to they recur to Unity to do the augmented reality part. So the idea was for someone goes to a house or somewhere to install electrical parts or electrical board, something like that, or the chargers for the vehicles, right? And they will take a picture with augmented reality. Then they will see the equipment where it's going to be placed and so on. So that would be one of the ideas, to replicate that entirely inside OutSystems.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And mind you, like I said, your blog post, I was able to do like an A-frame project and be able to bring it into like an Apple Vision Pro headset, whatever, and like be able to use that tech and actually do an augmented reality thing. And it was just, you inspired that work, and it was just so cool. Now, I keep referencing some of the stuff that you guys have done, the work that you've done. Where can the audience, the people who are actually watching this, find what you're working on in regards to 3JS, or even just any other personal projects?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, this is a free time. So most of the projects are, in fact, inside the application that is uploaded with the demo together with the component. So all the quick projects that were being done are there, so that everyone can see how it was implemented. Some are using a more OutSystem approach, other are more extensibility directly, and we will also talk a little bit on that on the session for tomorrow. There's 2 different ways to use that component.
Okay. A little sneak peek there.
A little sneak peek here. Yeah, but mainly, like I said, it's a free time. So most of the things were the projects that I did for that class, and some of the things while testing, and the demo that we'll also see tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I feel like this is how innovation is done. It's the passion projects. Yeah. It's the, this, I just want to learn how this works in my spare time, end up becoming like really cool creations that could be used in business settings, or, your own like games and things like that. So, basically they can find you online, your socials. Okay.
Yeah. LinkedIn and so on. Yeah. I'm around.
You're around. Well, guys, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Up next, actually, one of my colleagues will be joining us for a chat, and it's somebody who has brought incredible change to the community. So stay tuned and check that out. Guys, thanks. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. All right.
Hello and welcome back. I'm joined with our next guest, Cadu. And actually, Cadu, welcome to the show. If maybe do a brief introduction to let everybody know about you and who you are and what you do for the community.
Yes, thank you, Logan. So hello, everyone. Hello to everyone watching at home. So basically, I'm Ricardo, but more known as Cadu, as Logan said. I work here at OutSystems for the past 5 years. I started, normally I say I was an economist by study, but then became a product owner by profession. I started as a marketeer, then changed more to product management.
That is a transition there.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to put my hands on building stuff. So I changed at the beginning of my career to Vodafone at more in engineering area, trying to manage all of the teams, the projects. Was my first contact with engineering teams, with agile methodology, Jira, and all of that was my introduction to technology, let's call it.
Yeah.
After a quick shift to a banking app, awesome project, start from scratch. The next, a banking app of a big Portuguese bank, and that was made me shift to OutSystems in the end, because at the bank was my first experience with managing teams. And then now I'm at OutSystems for the past 5 years, almost. I started during COVID, but was a challenge itself.
That is a definite challenge.
Yeah, onboarding in a company during COVID was tough, but OutSystems was very good at keeping the virtual environment but feel close, together. So I felt always safe in uncertainty times. And then at OutSystems, I continue with the community for the past 5 years. So I manage the online community, gaining more and more products, but now forums, training, documentation, all of those assets that help developers build more faster without getting stuck are managed by my teams.
I always feel like that's the pipeline, right? Like once you actually start managing developers, you're like, okay, how do I do this effectively? How do I get this to get this product over the finish line? And how do I do it in a way that's extensible, sustainable, to be able to do the development process? And then you start learning about low code and you're like, why didn't I use this from the get-go, right?
Exactly.
But to kind of dive in a little bit for our audience, because, Connor and I, we do know each other. We've met at several conferences and events, and we've talked over the years. But Cadu is kind of an honorary member of the developer relations team, mostly because he's built almost all the platforms that we use, full transparency, everything from our community app to user group integrations, and even the current one app that all of our attendees are using right now. So maybe we could talk a little bit about that. Can you talk about the one app that was built by you with our partner Indigo?
Yes. First, thank you. I'm always blessed when all of you say that I'm an honorary member. So thank you for that. And regarding the one app is always an ambitious project because we have the community and developers are very demanding. So we have, let's call it our backlog of giving more support to developers with our community. But then this event, biggest event of OutSystems and the biggest yet in the last years. Yeah. So we always need an app that is up to par, that is showcasing the innovation of OutSystems, that is showing how our platform can be used for innovative solutions. And that's a challenge itself.
Yeah.
So we needed an extra part of hands, literally, to code. And that's where the partnership with Indigo started last year. It went so smooth that we did it again this year. And I think the key factor for the success was working as one conference, but working as one team and being with the attendees at heart. Yeah. So our goal is always to give the best experience to the attendees, but showcasing the innovation that OutSystems can bring. And this year was all about the agentic in the app. So if you go, please download the app, use it at the event, and you see the amazing agents that we created.
Well, and the crazy part is your audience here is all developers. So you have literally people who will check your work and be like, is this working the way it's supposed to work?
Yes, they are very demanding and creative also. They will be always trying to find the spots that we missed.
Yeah, it's almost like you have built-in QA testing with the people who are using our apps because they're like, okay, I'm going to try to break this as much as I can. You have to make it so it doesn't break. But to keep going, so from what I've seen, just myself using the app and even our attendees, we're all really enjoying it. I know I'm enjoying it. It was such a smooth process to even just like get my badge and like see around with the different sessions that have been going on. And we've also been seeing, or at least what I'm hearing, I haven't had a chance to do the challenges, but they're using. I might have to find some time to actually do it. But what was it like developing those challenges?
Yes, the challenge itself are the most challenging part of the app.
Yeah.
But the most fun, of course. You always start with an idea of how can we bring the virtual events, so the app experience, together, mingle them, merge them with the physical event for us to have an experience that doesn't break, doesn't stop. So virtual and physical together. It starts with a lot of ideas, a lot of brainstorm, but then we need to tailor them to our core systems, and also we need to tailor to our brand. So that's when we start to tweak it to see if this idea needs to move forward or not. And then the process and OutSystems is key in here because it allows us to be fast, adapt, interact, measure, do again, be fast, adapt, interact. So all of this process of constantly being working on the app, it's amazing. At the same time, and I already mentioned, agentic. This is the year of agentic.
Yes.
So we created challenge, and this is the challenge, the missions that you were referring. Attendees can go around the event with a set of challenge that they need to complete. Those challenge include agents. I'm good, just for spoiler alerts, I'm going to talk about just 2 of them. We have more, so go to the app to see the others. But we have, for example, a 1 bit. There is an agent that you tell your story without systems, and the agent is going to create a music just for you. Actually, the best musics, it's like a contest. The best musics are going to be displayed around the event. So if you are hearing with attention, maybe your song will be played. The other one is the challenge, the photo challenge agent that allows us basically in real time. You have a set of challenge. You need to take pictures with certain people, with certain swag items. And the agent is right there with you saying if it was a success or not and give you hints for you to continue the challenge. So all about agentic, all about virtual and physical event all together.
That's crazy. So you have not only like in the different challenges, there's a photo challenge, there's a music challenge. Is there multiple agents that are dictating both of those too within each section?
Yes, it's a random. So basically the agent decides, and that's the magic of the agents. They do the work for us, and the agents are deciding what challenge and what things you need to complete.
Wow, that's crazy. So now I have to talk about my friend Neo. We all know Neo, but who might appear on the podcast, might I add. Neo is a huge part of the conference this year. Can you tell me how you've integrated Neo into your applications?
Yes, Neo was already a famous household for us. In the forums, developers can make questions, and Neo is your first line of support. So we have an AI-powered chatbot answering the questions of our developers. If the chatbot cannot handle those questions, because nobody is perfect, not even Neo, then our moderators pick up and they answer your questions. What you wanted is to bring Neo to the app, meaning in the app you can chat with Neo, make questions about the sessions, navigate. This year we have a lot of sessions. If you need help to know what to attend according to your interests, Neo is there for you. Or if you are foreign and you want to know more about Portugal and what to visit next, also chat with Neo, and Neo is basically there to support your journey in this conference.
Yeah. So he's bilingual. He could totally address. Okay.
How you want.
That is
It's
incredible. That is incredible. So I didn't get a chance to check this out, but I've been hearing that you made some very cool announcements during the community keynote. And I had a note that my colleague Eliza put on here. She put, the community moderation agent looks insane. And now we can also look forward to an agent that will customize training plans for the community. How do you see the future of the community with the power of agentic AI?
Yes, very interesting question. First, just explaining a little bit of the agent. We have an agent that is helping to create a survey community. The agent is basically seeing all of the community interactions and flagging the ones that shouldn't be there because they are malicious or spam. Yeah. So other contents that are not to be there in the community, they are flagged and the agent takes care of them. As we scale, as we grow, the moderators seeing everything is tough for them. So this is a present for our moderators, and I thank the moderators for everything that they do so far, and for sure we'll do more in our community.
Yeah.
The second part is, this is AI, it's new for everyone, agentic is new for everyone, so we are creating an agent that is going to act as your personal teacher in the community and is going to help you learn the new skills that you need to be an AI hero in this new era of agentic.
Yeah, there's pretty much. I don't think there's any way developers are getting away from AI at this point. Like, it's here to stay. You either learn how to use it, or you're not going to be relevant if you don't learn how to use it. But just to brag about you a little bit, the majority of companies with developers, users, or customer forums use third-party solutions, but you didn't. You used OutSystems tech to show it off. Can you tell us what it's like building, maintaining, and adding such critical features using OutSystems for an OutSystems project?
Of course. So the first thing that I want to say is, since I can brag,
Yeah.
it's not just
brag.
forums.
Yeah.
It's not just forums, training, documentation. So all of our community properties are built in OutSystems. And the first thing that I can share is, these are complex applications, mission critical for a company that run on OutSystems. And the reliability has been amazing. The uptime is 99.9%.
Okay.
So that's mission critical apps. No problem on using OutSystems. The second thing, of course, is being able to tailor what you do as you adapt, as you measure, as you interact. You can always, if it's your own platform, the way we use it, you can always build something that fits like as a glove. New AI is an example. We add a version, we adapt, we measure, and then we improved Neo's ability. For example, at first, Neo couldn't see image. He couldn't interpret, couldn't make sense of them. And then we quickly improved, as a lot of forum posts that error codes, or screenshots of Service Studio. So we improved Neo, and now Neo is able to see and answer everything with image. And third, of course, this part is also very important. With a platform that keeps on giving and having more and agentic, it allows us to be innovators and allow us to be very, very fast. Because if you think about integrating AI with a third-party solution or something, the speed is not the same.
Yeah.
And I came from traditional, so I know what I'm talking.
I do too. I get it.
That is the first time that I see almost shifting a little bit, that the bottleneck now is more on the business and trying to decide priorities and not on the development side. That is, as soon as we have something, quick, as I said, interact, measure, and do even better. Continuous improvement at the end.
Yeah. Well, Cadu, I know that we are running out of time here. And so I just wanted to ask, where can people find your work? Do you have any passion projects or anything you want to shout out or that you could show off?
Yes. First, go to online community. Go just put OutSystems community. You can go there. The majority of the products there built for my team for developers. So if you are a developer, please use the community. It's going to help you move faster and unblock all of your projects. Then you can find me, Ricardo Sequeira, on LinkedIn, not Cadu, on LinkedIn, Ricardo Sequeira, and you can see things that I'll be posting, and you can always find maybe other conference that I'll be speaking. So stay tuned to my LinkedIn if you want to know a little bit more.
That's incredible. Cadu, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
And of course, Eliza is coming back. She's going to be talking with our hackathon participants and then our CEO, Woodson Martin. So please, you do not want to miss that. Check it out. And that'll be happening after this short video break.
Here are my favorite things about Mentor. Mentor is out, a new AI for you to create and improve your OutSystems projects. I've been having a lot of fun digging in, so let's see one of my favorite things about it: sample user roles. Mentor is all about getting to a usable proof of concept as quickly as possible. Setting up sample data and user roles can be tedious, but it is a place where AI with Mentor really shines. After submitting your prompt, roles are automatically defined based on the generated data model. You can add, edit, or remove these roles before generating the app. Along with sample data, customized to your app, Mentor creates a sample user for each role so you can log in and test your application immediately. There's no need to create sample users based on characters from your favorite TV shows anymore. Mentor uses AI to automatically restrict screens and actions based on role type. It's like enterprise app security on easy mode. Add AI-suggested roles in App Editor or change role permissions directly in the UI. Deleted roles have auto-healing, so there's no need to manually track and update across your application. Stay tuned for more favorite features about Mentor.
Agent Workbench is out, a brand new tool from OutSystems to build agents for your applications and workflows. I've been playing with it, and I want you to come with me and have a sneak peek on what you can do and how can you use it. We are going to create a very simple agent. We are going to put some rules, apply that agent to the application, and start looking at the inner workings of the Agent Workbench. So don't miss this opportunity and come with me. Here are my favorite things about Mentor. Mentor's out. Have you played with it? I have been playing with it and having a lot of fun, so let me tell you my favorite things about it. Imagine business wants you to add a payment method. It's fairly easy, right? You just have to create a static entity, add it into your order, and see the screens where it's being used, change the form. I hate changing forms and put the validations on it. And then you have to add in all the screens and all the stuff, and it's a lot of work. You might say, Miguel, you're being too exaggerated. This is easy. It's low code, so you just drag stuff to build forms. And you're right, but I'm a developer. I always want to get past that boring parts that I've done 1,000 times, and I want to get to the cool stuff like building logic or doing front end. Now with Mentor, things get really easy really fast. Not only it has a feature for you to select an entity and see in which screens it's being used, but also when customizing your data model and adding new attributes, it will be able to use AI, and then it will not only change the data model, but it will also change the screens where it's used, and it will inform you on which screens it is. Just like that, the application is updated, and I can move on to focus on other features. Stay tuned for more favorite features about Mentor.
Hello, welcome back to Decoded live from one. You've got me once again. Logan is probably sitting down very quietly somewhere, not talking, but actually I can see him right now. He is talking right now. Powerful talker Logan is. Let me know. I haven't been able to watch the stream, and I haven't been able to talk to Logan at all. So please let us know in the chat how he's doing, and I hope it's only praise, because he will be back and look at the chat later, so be nice. I have two very special guests joining me today. We talked to Sneh a little bit earlier, and they are very related to her work. Douglas, Jessica, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourselves. Let's start with Douglas.
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Douglas Lima. I have been working with OutSystems like 10 years. Sorry, I'm not English speaker, then sorry for any mistake that I made here.
You're fine.
I have been working with Jakar for almost 5 years.
Amazing. Awesome.
And yeah, I'm a architecture lead. OutSystems, of course, in Jakarta.
Very cool. And Jessica?
Hi, Jessica Romo. I'm Associate Director at Strength United, a nonprofit agency in Los Angeles, California.
Amazing. So we have a lot of developers on. We have a lot of OutSystems employees on. I think you're the only non-developer joining us that isn't also an OutSystems employee. So excited to have you here.
Okay, I'm honored.
So my colleague Sneh has taken you both on sort of a world tour to promote the hackathon, which she was just talking about and just completed, including a virtual speaking spot at a recent NYC user group. And I'll say again, go to the NYC user groups. They're great. I've mentioned it probably 10 times on the stream so far. So let's get into the hackathon. Douglas, can you tell us a little bit about what the Build for the Future hackathon is?
Yeah, sure. First, the Build for the Future hackathon, it's a pretty amazing initiative from OutSystems to bring some non-profits, bring them their pain, and share with some teams, okay, building, of course, by OutSystems professionals, and of course, none of them don't, but work with projects. and each team look to the nonprofit, talks a little bit, and bring their ideas. Okay, and of course now the contents start.
Yes.
And every single team come with the idea, bring your apps. Your apps was evaluated, and okay, one winner
Yes.
is chosen for each nonprofit.
Very
then, just to know, we was the winners for the hackathon that we participate with Strength United.
Very cool.
And
So great segue there. Jessica, what does Strength United do?
Yeah, so we were the winners in 2021, and Strength United is a nonprofit agency that focuses on different forms of trauma and violence. So we help survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence. And really, this app has helped us create accessibility and create a chat feature instead of having to call a hotline. So we're saving lives with our app.
That's so cool. Some of the hackathon entries every year are like incredibly cool. Like we had the one with, I'm going to be terrible at describing this, but I'm just going to go for it. About planting trees, I think, in Africa, which was so cool. Like the tech nonprofit partnerships happen a lot, but I think SNE's efforts are pretty incredible. What makes the program special? Why don't you answer that, Jessica?
Yeah, I think what makes the program so special is that as nonprofits, we don't have access to this type of technology, or we think that it's just so expensive and we're not tech people. Yeah. We wouldn't even know what to build. And so this partnership with Dracar is that they had so much heart and they cared so much about the work that we do that even now from 2021, they're still committed to working with us and making this app bigger and better.
Very cool. It seems like you both have fans in the chat right now. We've got someone named Justina saying, wow, Jessica, and Johan, who I believe is your boss, is saying Team Douglas and Jessica. So if they're doing a great job on the stream, again, let them know in the chat. Maybe Douglas will get an enormous raise for his appearance here, right? Yeah, let's do it.
I hope so.
Okay, so I will just jump to a question about AI here. Our keynote focused a lot on AI this year. What excites you about the future of app development with AI?
AI will be pretty big support for everything, for everyone, and we really need to learn more how to work together with AI and push AI to the limit like us. And of course, do the same to help to the projects. And especially when we are talking to hackathon and nonprofits right now. And this for sure will help a lot, especially the nonprofits. Because AI is not the future anymore.
Right.
It's the present. And we need to work and learn how to push it to the limit and bring the best results for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. So last question, real quick. What's the best conversation you've had so far at the conference?
Well, for me, so special. We had the CEO Woodson come introduce himself to me, ask about who we are and how our work has taken place with Dracar, and it was amazing to meet a fellow Californian and a really nice CEO.
He is so nice. Yes. Whenever a company gets a new CEO, it's like, oh no, what's going to happen? But he's great, right? What about you, Douglas?
For sure, was with Paulo Rosado.
Oh, yes.
Okay, as I said, I worked with autism for 10 years. And for the community, he's like a celebrity. Then for sure, that was
very
was
very
with
cool. Yeah, we interviewed him last year. He was great. So thank you so much for being here, Jessica. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Lisbon, and Douglas, I hope you have fun meeting all your fellow developers. in just a few seconds, I will be joined by OutSystems CEO Woodson Martin. So we'll see you in just a moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm joined now with our new CEO, Woodson Martin. Please introduce yourself to our developer audience at home.
Thanks. I'm Woodson. I've been with OutSystems for almost 5 months. I love platforms. I've spent most of my career working on platforms. I worked at Business Objects for a long time and as a BI platform, at Salesforce for a long time in the platform business, ran the App Exchange ecosystem of partners building on that platform, and just incredibly excited now to be leading the team here at OutSystems and helping our customers succeed in the age of AI.
Amazing, amazing. So this is your first one conference, of course, and you said you were really excited to get the opportunity to have everyone in person, meet the developers, the customers, even some of our own team members who are located all over the world. What has the experience been like so far?
I mean, I love the energy. Like, people are so excited. You know, they're excited to be here with people they haven't seen since last year. Many of them are excited to be here with colleagues they've brought from the companies where they work, the industries where they work, and they're just excited to learn and to share and to show off what they've done. You know, we have so many of our community members giving presentations and sharing their stories, and I think that's awesome, and that energy is infectious. I love it.
Yeah, you're very busy at this conference, but you are taking the time to talk to people. My last interview with Jessica and Douglas, they were talking about how they got to meet you, which was very cool.
Yeah, great. I mean, I got a chance to spend some time at the Get Devs Give Back booth and talk to a number of the developers from nonprofit organizations, and just hearing the stories. Super impactful work they're doing. One organization that's doing work with victims of domestic violence, another organization doing work to help kids. We heard the Teach for Portugal story in the keynote this morning, which I think is such a cool story, how in literally 3 weeks, 20 and a day, so 22 days, they went from spreadsheets to agentic systems to help recruit all these mentors for the schools in Portugal. I think that is amazing. I love the impact that developers are having with OutSystems in so many of these incredibly important causes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Miguel Baltazar, our VP of Devs, made a promise to the community that by the end of the year they would all be AI developers, and that just happened. In fact, it just happened so close that Cadu was almost late because he was also on stage with Miguel talking about this. What do you think this new era will look like for developers?
Well, I think the end of the year is way too late. I mean, I'll start with that. Let me challenge everybody in here and say by the end of September, which I think is just in a couple hours, really what we've done here today with a whole series of announcements that we've made is to put the capability to build agentic systems and really innovate and lead inside your organizations, inside your customers, inside your company, in this agentic revolution that we're in, right? And the ability to build your agentic future without systems. I think this is probably the greatest opportunity for our developer community in a decade or more to really get out in front on the topic that is the most important topic in the boardroom at every company today, and say, I can take everything that I've ever built without systems, everything on O11, everything we've done on ODC, and I can turn all of that into agentic systems. What we saw with Travel Essence earlier today, an O11 app in production, by the way, that has been used by their travel advisors for years, now they've plugged agents right into that. And in that user experience, watching the agents chat, negotiating on behalf of the customer, building amazing dream vacations, that's just an example of what everybody can do now. So I think everybody's going to be an agentic developer, and everybody can do it today.
Absolutely, yeah. So we talked to Vivek this morning about what the keynote covered. You talked a little bit about Teach for Portugal and Workbench. Are there any other big highlights in case people are just joining the stream now?
Well, if you're just joining the screen now or the stream now, I think there were 7 important announcements earlier today. So, first was we reiterated an announcement we've made before that we're extending the life of O11, OutSystems 11 indefinitely, that we are making the platform unified, bringing the capability of O11 and ODC together so you can use these together in your organizations today, making that easy to do with our licensing framework so that everyone who has OutSystems 11 today can get with a click of the button, right? Yeah. An OutSystems Developer Cloud production-ready environment as a customer. But we also made an announcement that we're introducing an ODC Personal Edition available to anyone who wants to sign up on the website and get their own private ODC environment, which I think is awesome and makes possible all the next things, which are, we announced the general availability of Agent Workbench, right? And we saw incredible examples of companies who are building, like Graham Housing Finance in India, or like Travel Essence in the Netherlands, or like Axos Bank in the US, who are building agentic systems on top of their existing assets in OutSystems. And that's incredible, but we want everybody to be able to do that. So we are making Agent Workbench and the ability to build and deploy AI agents on top of your existing assets and OutSystems available to every customer at no additional charge through the remainder of this year. And that sticks. You get to keep the entitlement to Agent Workbench for the life of your current contract, as long as you push one agent to production before the end of 2025. So that's an incredible bargain for customers, but it's also a challenge to every developer out there to secure the future of your company and your agentic future on OutSystems by rapidly innovating to put agents in production to drive productivity and revenue gains and incredible customer experiences like we saw with Travel Essence for your company. So that's all a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's great to make those announcements. It's great to share all that with everybody. And then we went through the future of Mentor and the work we're doing to make Mentor more conversational so that it's not one and done, but you can have that debate with Mentor, like you're talking to an architect, and you can iterate over a blueprint of an application so you know exactly what you're going to get when Mentor goes to generate the code. And we're super excited about all that work. And one of the coolest things we showed at the end of that keynote was Mentor then generating agents, right? Adding agents into an existing application, literally through a conversation with Mentor, your buddy for building now apps and agents on OutSystems. So lots of exciting stuff, all that technology in the hands of all of our customers and all of our developers, and frankly, anybody who wants to sign up on our website.
Incredible. So we will have that keynote to watch very soon, but thank you for the summary. That was very, very exciting stuff. So last question, very quickly. We talked about giving back at 3 different points in this conversation already. I volunteer with my local bail fund. My co-host Logan volunteers with his local children's hospital. You are definitely leading the company by example, like featuring Teach for Portugal in the keynote. What is your pitch for tech workers to get involved with volunteering?
I will simply say that we are some of the most fortunate people on the planet, and I personally feel an obligation to share my good fortune with other people. I talked today at the Devs Give Back booth here with an entrepreneur who has built a system for managing food banks across Portugal, who has then taken OutSystems and built on top of that this very cool system for issuing cards to volunteers that now work not only in food banks, but across any kind of volunteer operation in the country. And they have a centralized system then for managing volunteers and sharing volunteer opportunities, which I think is super cool.
Whoa.
Your skills as an OutSystems developer are hyper valuable to these nonprofit organizations who need advanced technology to leap ahead, to compete, to do the work with fewer resources to serve the communities. And you can have such a huge impact bringing not only your labor, right? Like we can all do, and we all should do hands-on volunteering with things like packaging food in food banks. But what you can do as a tech worker, as an experienced OutSystem developer, as somebody who really understands systems and can tweak those systems to help organizations operate more efficiently, there is no greater need than the need among these nonprofits who are fighting hard to make the world a better place for everybody. And if you're not motivated just by the pure satisfaction of having an impact, you'll be motivated by being so deeply appreciated by these people because of the skills that you bring. So jump in and do it if you're not already. And I know so many in our community already are and are way ahead of me on this. So thank you. And we really appreciate that leadership.
Well, Woodson, thank you so much for taking the time to jump into Decoded, talk to our developers at home. This was a great chat.
Let's do it again.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
In just a moment, I'll be joined by another incredible OutSystems MVP, but stay tuned. Welcome back. I am joined now by Lotta, one of our MVPs. The audience may recognize you from your appearance last year, but just in case, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm Lotte Kuiper. I've been an OutSystems developer for the past 4 years now at Transfer Solutions in the Netherlands, as you might hear. And last year I explored the world of AI, and I'm still working on it now. Even managed to get my MVP badge, which is really exciting. So yeah, that's it about me, I think.
Amazing. What was were you a speaker last year? Is that why you were on Dakota?
I was speaking together with Paulina about 2 agents that we built. So that was pretty cool. We had a speech to text one for car mechanics that could walk through their list without even touching the phone app. So
very nice.
That was really nice to see. And now this year I see that a lot of other companies have started to adopt like real life use cases. So it's been cool to see what people are up to now.
Amazing. So we talked a little bit about last year, but how long have you worked with OutSystems and what's that journey been like?
I started working with OutSystems in 2021 after finishing my degree in artificial intelligence. So I've been exploring combining AI with OutSystems in the past years, and now I'm also teaching courses about it.
Whoa.
So we're getting pretty experienced with it, teaching others how to do it as well. So it's
Very
cool.
That's amazing. So what's your favorite aspect, I guess, of working with OutSystems?
Oh, the speed of new features being released lately. I'm not even able to catch up with it all. I get emails of all the early access programs. I'm like, oh, cool, I want to try this. Oh, we have a personal environment now on ODC. I want to try it, but I need to get on my plane to fly to Lisbon. But it's so fun to just dive into it, try new stuff, and then talk about it with other peers that also are playing around with it and inspire each other. So
very cool. I love that. So you're a very active member of the MVP program. Not to get cynical on you, but it can be a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
What do you sort of get out of the MVP?
A lot of new friends. I think that's the main win for me. Yeah, I don't know. I love connecting with people. I'm also organizing the Dutch user groups, which kind of got me into the community and fired my enthusiasm for everything. So I'm just glad to get to know new people and get inspired by their ideas and projects. And it's been amazing.
I love that. So when you're communicating with MVPs, it's mostly via the Slack, or are you?
Yeah, the Slack is a horror. I was, well, they prepared me beforehand. They're like, be aware if you're added to the Slack channel, it's like 100 of them. And every day we will send like messages in all of the channels. They're like, yeah, you're joking. But it was chaos, but it's fun. Like everyone is supportive and making funny jokes and sending memes and whatever. So I'm really glad.
Yeah, you don't all only get an avenue for product feedback in the Slack, but you also get a hotline to the other MVPs. So if you're having an issue, they'll jump in to help, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's been really nice, especially because of all of those new features when you're trying them out and you're stuck and you're like, guys, help. Does anyone run into the same problems? And then few people just jump on it within minutes and you can resolve the issue.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah, with early access programs, you don't really know if you're the problem or it's the new feature.
You hope that it's the platform and it's like, oh no, I just forgot to fill in something that was mandatory. That's why it's not working. Sure. Oh, click a button. Yeah.
So obviously you attended last year's One conference in Amsterdam. How does that experience compare to this year?
Ooh. Well, being in Amsterdam kind of felt like a home run because it was only 30 minutes by train. So it kind of feels like a bigger show, bigger event. I think also because we are now with, 4,000 people?
Yeah.
It's huge. But I like it a lot. And I like the layout here. Yeah, you can't see it at home. But we have the whole community village with like an MVP booth where they're doing demos and you can do some challenges at the champion stand. So everyone's being really involved and chatting with each other, but also doing stuff. So it's so interactive.
Wonderful.
I really like it.
Yeah, it's really nice to have all this space for our community. So let's talk about mentorship and developer education. Why is it important for more senior developers to help train, support, and mentor junior developers?
Well, I think mostly to help you find your way and figure out what aspects you like and kind of get you on track, because there's so much information online. Like, you can do the online track. I'm like, okay, but there's 1,000 videos and I don't know what's relevant. And now if you have your mentor is like, hey, I want to work on this. I have an idea. Can you help me set it up? I was like, sure. And they actually show you their tricks that they have acquired over the years. So you get all those nitty bits. And and it's also
really
just nice to have a buddy that you can ask 100%. All of your stupid or not so stupid questions and they won't judge you and they're just happy to help. So.
Yeah, I talked about our free training program called Developer Schools through the DevRel team earlier. And what we say during Developer Schools is we're going to teach you how to use OutSystems. But if you're already using it for a specific project, you might want to get a mentor while you're here. So
I would
really
definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
It will help you get on the right track faster. So
amazing. Okay, so you talked a lot about AI. What excites you about what's coming in the next year or more?
Oh, well, I think the most exciting thing now for me is that the hype is kind of dying out and people are actually finding use cases that deliver more value to them.
Yes.
And they're more eager to try it out and find the challenges that can be solved with it. So agentic AI has been mentioned 1,000 times today, but I'm just really excited to start building with it, even with the workbench that's now generally available, which makes it even easier and more intuitive. I spoke to a customer of mine who said, I don't have any experience with AI, but I get the feeling that I could build my own agent. I'm like, that's great. That should be the goal for you to feel like you could do it yourself. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we have just a few seconds left. Do you have any parting thoughts for our viewers?
Oh, well, if you're watching from home next year, be sure to be here.
Love it.
You don't want to miss out.
Come to one next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there anywhere online people can see your work?
You can watch me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there with sharing all the things that I'm working on. And if you have any questions, send me a message.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. Well, Lotta, thank you for joining us again this year. This has been great catching up. Next up, Logan is back with another interview with a speaker. So stay tuned after this quick video.
Hello developers, my name is Neo and I've officially joined the forums as your new AI assistant. My job is to help you get faster answers, tackle technical challenges, and keep your projects moving forward. Starting today, when you post a question in the forums, you can ask me for assistance and I will provide suggestions or insights on how to solve your question in the same language you made your question. I am always learning, and while I strive to be accurate and helpful, I am not perfect, so your feedback and follow-up in the thread are always welcome. Think of me as your first line of support, not a replacement for the awesome developers in this community. Need my assistance? Just post your question as you normally would. After that, you will see a section that will allow you to start chatting with me. If my initial answer was not helpful, you can keep the conversation going. Let's build something great together.
Hello and welcome back to Decoded Live here in Lisbon, Portugal. My name is Logan Braid, and developer advocate here at OutSystems, and I'm joined by two amazing people, Osama and Pedro? Pedro's a new addition to this, so I will be trying to ask questions, but feel free to both of you guys to jump in. But Osama, Pedro, if you guys can maybe introduce yourselves to our audience, tell them a little bit about yourselves.
My pleasure. So 20 years in the OutSystems community as an ex-employee, customer, and partner. So looking after Phoenix DX in Australia.
Okay.
And I'm an expert TL, technical lead at Phoenix DX. I'm an OutSystems MVP, speaker. I've been maybe just under a decade, I guess, in the OutSystems world, and thoroughly passionate about OutSystems and low-code in general. So happy to be here.
Well, thanks for joining me, guys. And speaking of the session, can you maybe tell us a little bit, the name of your session and what your session is going to be about?
Sure. So the title of the session is OutSystems Uno Involved, Multiplayer, AI, and OutSystems Magic. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it is going to be fun and exciting, I promise. So a bit of context, a couple of years back in the first one conference in Lisbon, I sort of set out a challenge before the conference to sort of push OutSystems, the limits of OutSystems, and see what I can do if I think outside the box a little bit. And the result of that was the rebuild of the Uno game in OutSystems using out-of-the-box capabilities, no integrations, no sort of external CSS, JavaScript, everything using OutSystems out of the box. And that challenge sort of was presented in one a couple of years back. And what I've done now is I've sort of tried to take it to the next level. Obviously, with all of the great sort of announcements and all of the great advancements that we're seeing with the platform and IT in general, it only made sense to kind of make sure OutSystems Uno followed that trend. So in this year's session, I'm going to be talking about how we got AI involved into OutSystems Uno.
Okay.
And how we're also able to enable multiplayer within the game as well. So we're going to be delving into that and hopefully with a live interactive demo.
Yeah. I know, live demos, it's always a little bit of a pause and wait, can we actually do this? Are we going to be able to do this?
It's only fun if you do it live.
Exactly. But I think one of the reasons, so to kind of tell the audience, and I've mentioned this before, we picked different sessions based off of our interests and kind of what was going on. The moment I saw game development and OutSystems, there was a little moment, light bulb in my brain. I was like, you can do game development with OutSystems? I just didn't even know that was possible or even a capability. And now I'm seeing a session where you guys are going to be talking about it. But what are some of the challenges that you encountered with game development?
I think some of the things that we'd have to look at a little bit differently compared to if you're building a sort of a traditional enterprise application, I guess, is when it comes to game development, the specific aspects that need to be taken care of a little bit more thoroughly than you typically do. So, for example, when we talk about games, you want something that pulls the user in. You want something that you can easily interact with, something that's very eye-catchy.
Yeah.
Those sort of mechanics, those sort of UI elements, those are things that you need to give extra thought when we're talking about game development, because we want the users to stay playing the game for as long as possible. So ensuring that there's engaging mechanics, ensuring that the application is well animated, ensuring that there's a sense of progression. That's, I think, the key things that we needed to nail for the game to sort of be as engaging as it turned out to be. And I think those are the key things that sort of makes it, a game, I guess.
Yeah, it's not just an application. It's you have to have conversations about what is my story going to be, how is the player going to interact with all the different characters, with the different components of the game, and even level structure. When we start getting into the actual user experience of how they interact in the different spaces that they'll be in, that's why I think when I heard OutSystems in game development, it was mind blowing, trying to figure out how do you incorporate all those details and how do you do it in low code?
Yeah.
So I just want to add, I mean, in 20 years of seeing many things with this platform, I keep being surprised with the potential and pushing the limits of gamification, basically, which is very common on business applications, but applying them to games and bringing the UI elements into it is tremendously exciting. So I would encourage you to see the session, because you keep pushing the limits of the platform, but really finding creative ways, and that's the whole spirit of the community and the platform.
Yeah, but I feel like when developers are allowed to do creative things, and that's where innovation comes from, right? Businesses take from the creatives of you guys do cool things. How can we implement it in our applications to get more users on board?
Correct.
But now to kind of dive into maybe a little bit of the process with low code and game development.
Sure.
How does low code change the way you develop games, and how can other developers get involved with low code game development based on your experience?
Sure. So I guess there's a few elements or aspects to it. First of all, low code and gaming, like you were alluding to at the start, traditionally you want to put these two in a sentence very often, I guess. But at the end of the day, it just thoroughly depends on that creative sort of mindset that you have. Because when you've got a platform like OutSystems that gives you the capability and the flexibility to do things that you couldn't do in other applications, it then encourages you to sort of start thinking outside the box and encourage you to start playing with mechanics and capabilities in the platform that you would typically not use in a particular manner. So, for example, within OutSystems Uno, everything that was used to build it are the exact same elements, the exact same architectural patterns, the exact same best practices that would use to build any other application OutSystems, enterprise application OutSystems. But when you then put the lens of, I want to be a little bit more creative, I want to sort of push the limits, what happens if I do this? What happens if I mix these two things together where I won't? That's where sort of the, I guess the magic.
That's where the magic happens. Yeah,
that's where the magic happens. And it's, again, it all comes down to wanting to experiment, wanting to be creative, wanting to push things to the limit. And to be very fair, I think Phoenix DX, there's a lot of encouragement, and there's a lot of that creative culture at Phoenix we have in order to sort of enable and allow sort of our team members and developers and even solution architects and BAs to sort of experiment. So a lot of that is thanks to Phoenix DX. So.
Well, yeah, and that's how you learn, right? That's the only way you really learn is how to you push the boundaries of the tools that you work with to its absolute maximum and its extent to just learn what you can do with it. And I know for me personally, and it sounds like you guys might experience this too, but I don't feel like I haven't hit a limit yet. So being able to just play with all these different tools and not get to that limit yet is very, very exciting.
True. And it's also super exciting to see, things continuously being added as we go. So 2 years ago, this sort of experiment was built with these set of tools that we had at our disposal. Now we've got things like, for example, Agent Workbench, and we've got Mentor, etc. that's just another tool to be added to this creative box that you can also sort of use and twist and try to squeeze in here and play around to see what you can do.
I just want to add what I really like about a gaming use case is because you actually leverage a lot of other SDKs, a lot of traditional development, and not just that, and you make it a lot amplified by the components of the platform. So it's a really fascinating use case, and you still haven't used the word vibe coding, but there's definitely a great flow to that, and the use cases are amazing to continue to explore.
When I always think of like you said, traditional game development, right? You have like Unity, you have Unreal Engine, you have like those
OutSystems.
And it's like, wait, OutSystems. But like, I think it goes to the point of you could do stuff in those other platforms and bring it into a low-code platform. Like there's not a limitation of, you can bounce back and forth if you need to, and if it like applies to the use case. But to kind of talk about some of the other tools that you brought up, you brought up AI and agents with game development. How are you using maybe OutSystems AI technologies with your game development?
I think in this specific use case, for the OutSystems Uno use case, what worked really well is when AI Agent Workbench was introduced, and when we were given access to it, we saw how easy it is for us to use it because it's just fully integrated within the platform. So it's not like we're going off into another sort of tool and we have to learn this other tool to be able to learn how to build these agents, and then we have to go through the effort of integrating that into the game. No, it was all built in within the same service studio we're all used to and love.
One-stop shop.
Exactly, one-stop shop. I know, just a matter of using the exact same principles that we know from OutSystems development to just build this agent. But now we've got this super powerful capability that we can super easily kind of plug into this game or plug into any of these use cases that we've got coming up in the future. So just made this process super seamless. And I'll be delving into a little bit more detail on the process of building that particular agent in the session tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, if any of the viewers are actually here, be sure to check out their session, because that's a hint. Like, you got to go check it out, see how they're doing game development. But I know we're running out of time here, so, and we only got a few seconds left. Do you have any parting thoughts for our viewers of the live stream?
Thoughts?
It'd be about game development, it'd be about anything.
Well, I just wanted to say it's a fantastic energy here. I've attended many one conferences, and the vision that OutSystems is committing to it's just fantastic to see, because the unification of the platform, the commitment to the developer cloud, including, again, personal edition, gives a lot of opportunity for people to build not only more games, which I would definitely encourage, but also many of the use cases. So, and especially building agents with a platform, which is a tremendous momentum and time to be doing it. So, well done.
That's incredible. Now, I do want to ask, because I love the creative projects. I'm sure there's a lot of passion projects involved with this too. Do you guys show off your work anywhere? Where can our viewers actually find the stuff that you're working on?
Sure. So a few things I can point the viewers to. So first off, I think a lot of the great creative work that we do at Phoenix DX, we showcase them on Phoenix DX website. Okay. So we've got regular newsletters, we've got regular dev tips that we share on the website. And what that allows our developers and what allows the developer community to do is to sort of bring together and make sure everyone's on the same page in terms of what's new, how to do this, what's the best way to tackle this, what's the best practice. So first off, I would like to sort of direct your viewers to the Phoenix X website and do it there. And then the second source, obviously, is going to be the OutSystems community forums, Forge. Now with the updated, as the reviewing, or I should say launching in the session just then, the Neo AI agent, making things super easy for anyone new or old in the platform to go in and ask questions and try to understand the platform a bit better. That would be the place to go, in my opinion.
That's awesome. Well, Osama, Pedro, thank you guys for joining us and being here. It was great talking to you about your session and learning more about game development with OutSystems and AI.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Come and watch it.
Hey, next up, Eliza and I are going to give a preview of what's to come tomorrow, so stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Decoded Live here in Lisbon, Portugal. I just want to say today has been a crazy day. We talked to 21 attendees in the last, 4 hours?
4 hours. Yeah, I have to be honest, my throat is a bit sore.
Well, we better go get some tea, and because we have 4 more hours to do this tomorrow.
Logan, what was your favorite conversation today?
Ooh, I think the one with Nuno and Alexandre, where we're talking about 3JS and using it in OutSystems applications, because that was an inspiration project for me. How about you?
So I was so amazed that Woodson took the time out of his very, very busy day to talk to me and the developers at home. But I feel like that's a bit of an expected answer. So I'm going to say our MVP, Lotta, getting to catch up with her again was so nice. It's so cool that she has a degree in AI. So yeah.
Oh.
How did the trivia segment go? I didn't get to watch.
Oh, it went really well. We had, I think, 20 or 30 people at least going on as we were going in real time. So that was amazing just to see people engaging.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Well, if any of you missed it, tomorrow we have another excellent round of trivia. Just about 45 minutes into the start of the stream. You'll have to do your own time math for that one. We also have some excellent guests tomorrow. Let's take a look at that now. So I just want to shout out our first guest of the day, Andrea. The community knows her very, very well, but she is also my boss. So when you tune in tomorrow, please talk about how wonderful I am in the chat. But we also have Logan's boss appearing tomorrow as well.
Yeah. Give some good comments from you guys, please.
Miguel Baltazar and Rodrigo Coutinho will be on midway through the day to talk about the future of community and AI app development. It'll be very cool.
Oh, wait. I see something in the corner of that.
Oh my gosh. Who could that be? The bottom right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How did he sneak into the guest list? I wonder what that's about.
We'll see what's going on. But with that being said, I think that is it for us today. We're off to rest our voices before we go to the EO party and party it up and shout, and hopefully we'll still have our voices tomorrow, but no guarantees.
Well, thank you all for joining us. This has been so much fun. We hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.